with the bottom here. Stay with the bottom. Big wreck in your mirror. Big wreck in your mirror. Oh no! Oh my God! That looks awful.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. TARNATION TV is live here on a Saturday evening. Thanks for coming back to watch the All-Star Racing League. It's the premier Talladega Superspeedway series. That's a lot of words, but it is. It's premier. It's a lot of fun and very, very good racing. We've had some awesome races so far this season. This is race number 8 of 10, so this should be a good one. Getting down to it. Tracking old school points is always good. Track them right to the last lap of the final race. No knockouts, no nothing. Old school style. And of course, bringing it to you tonight is myself, Blaine Donlan, and my co-host, Sir Rod Weston himself. Good evening, buddy.
Don't say that 3 times fast.
No.
So the next question is, with 3 races left to go, can anybody knock Denny Carroll out of that points lead? Currently, he is 37 points ahead of Chuck McClure, and we know how good Chuck McClure is at this super speedway racing. So Greg Lovell just 46 behind, as well as Mike Mangiolari. They're tied for 3rd. And then we get down to Ken Roberts is, well, technically 5th, but 56 behind. And then Brian Wolf, he's been slowly but surely creeping his way up there. He is in 6th place. So that's the big question is, can anybody catch and in 3 races knock Denny Carroll off from that points lead?
I mean, excuse me, it's possible, but he's got like a 37-point lead too, right? And you get more points for finishing on the podium, so that's the only way to guarantee that you're going to catch him. If you want to get him in these next 3 races, you got to get some consistent top 3s. Speaking of which, I guess we can take a look at the stats right there. He's got a 37-point lead on Chuck McClure. So it's possible. I mean, there's 3 races left. That's a lot of points. There's a few hundred points can be gained.
So, you got to look at it like this, though. There's only 2 drivers that have finished in the top 10 on every race. That is Denny Carroll and Greg Lovell. We know 2 of them guys to be some of the best super speedway racers that are out there. I mean, there's nobody here that's not a great super speedway racer, but you'll see them guys usually kind of work their way to the front by the end of it. They're a part of the conversation as long as they don't get involved in something that happens, that you can't control. But those are the only 2 that have had top 10s. You look at Denny Carroll, he finished in the top 5 times. Nobody else other than Doug Hillick, he's down there, he has finished in the top 5 4 times. So the rest of the guys are just a little bit behind on the top 5s. And, I think we talked about it. Seth Cole talked about it a little bit about Bob the Biscuit Seminary Thursday. You never think that, consistent finishes is going to do you well. But, Bob Santander has been finishing around just outside the top 10, and he is, in a position of where he could be eligible for the championship when that time comes up. So somebody's got to catch him. You know what I mean? They just got to get him and knock him off. That's a very hard thing to do.
Yeah, like somebody's got to catch him, but it's also a thing of like he also just has to make some mistakes, and he's just not making any mistakes.
Yeah, he has been very, very good this year. Last year he was doing great in the points as well, and it got caught up into something when the admins reviewed, and they got done with the reviewing, and he was found at fault. I'm not sure 100% how their penalty system works, but I think that he was probably a do not qualify or something like that, or he might even have gotten a parked for 1 week, which can really hurt you in the points. So the thing of it is, not only does he constantly run up front, but he's pretty good at minding his P's and Q's and trying to stay out of trouble.
Plus the penalty, if I believe they would take your finishing position and -1 lap on there too, so you'll lose a ton of points. And there's always 30 plus drivers here every week, so it's not like you're just losing 20 or 30 points. You could end up losing 130 points. So you got to be good.
The way the points are, pretty much it's 175 if you win. Obviously, you're going to lead a lap, so that gives you 180, and if you lead the most laps, that's 185. And then it kind of drops from there down a little bit. I believe the top fives are separated maybe by 5 to 3 points or so, and then it goes down to a certain extent. I'm not exactly sure where that is. I could probably find that out. And then they start dropping, by 1 point each.
I think they drop by 1 point after fourth place, because first gets a bonus, second gets a little bit less of that bonus, and then third gets a bonus, and then it starts going with a 1 place gap all the way down. So they do adjust the way it's not a straight out export from the game. They do adjust that a little bit, not a lot though, but they kind of they award more points to the podium guys. So you're winning, you get the most bonus. The second place, you get a pretty good bonus. Third place, you still get a bonus, and everybody else has a 1 point separation. So it's like, that's why it's so tight. That's when you're looking at these, like your guys with the wins and stuff. You got to get the wins. You got to get the top fives.
And not only that, lead a lap. I mean, that's 5 bonus points.
That's another one, yeah.
And try to lead the most laps, which is not always the easiest thing to do, especially at Superspeedway racing. It's pretty tough. Because, it's the people you've got around you. You can have a fast car and you can be a great Superspeedway racer, but if you got the people around you that do not or refuse to work with you, you're not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm finding that out. Granted, don't get me wrong, I'm not a big Superspeedway guy. I've just started getting into it a little bit more and kind of enjoying it. But I noticed, like Thursday, I had drivers that just, they ride with me for a little while. They weren't comfortable, following me, so they would, drop me and I'd go to the back. And I get it. I'm not a great Superspeedway racer. I'm not.
Well, and they're not familiar with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you are a great driver in this game. You've played this game for decades. We've actually played this like Papyrus racing simulators for decades. It's just like, how's this guy on super speedways? And it's a different animal. In these, especially Rolling Thunder, ASR, like these league and like Primetime, like the leagues that strictly run this track, they have a series that's straight up Talladega. That's a different kind of. So then they're kind of going to stay away from you for a little bit, see what you do, try to figure you out, right? And then once they figure you out, like, okay, this guy's pretty solid, then they'll start getting behind you and going with you.
Absolutely. I mean, they'll pull up behind the Jägermeister, the Jaeger bomb car. They'll look at it. I don't really. A lot of the guys know who I am, and a lot of these guys have raced with me at short tracks and know my short track prowess. But not a lot of them have raced with me. I mean, like with Thursday, I jumped in there. They no problem accepting me in there. Everybody knows who I was, but I'm basically, my goal is to try to stay in the top 30. My goal is to try to finish a race and not having any incident points on me at all. So. That's my goal. I don't care about winning the championship yet. Do I want to? Everybody's there to do that. That's what you're there racing for.
Yeah.
Do I want to win races? Absolutely. But right now, it's more about learning the other drivers, figuring out their kind of mannerisms, because they do things. You'll see it tonight. They'll be 3 wide. You'll see guys go from the high groove down to the bottom groove, and I'm just not quite comfortable making those quick adjustment and great aggressive moves. So it's a little different, but hey, like I said, I'm there to learn. I'm having a great time with it, and I will actually be here next week, next Saturday, actually racing. So because you will be off, so I'll be out there racing with these guys and learning a little bit more, picking up hopefully some good information about the broadcast, and just having a good time.
Yeah, next week the wife and I are headed up to Ottawa, so yeah, there will be no broadcast for race number 9, and the week after that is the final race. If anything pops up for that, I think they will bump it, because that was the one thing they wanted. They're like, just let us know, like obviously personal life stuff happens, and then they'll just push the race. So, but I'm pretty sure we're pretty good to go. But it should be a great final 3 races here, like you were saying, especially when it comes down to a points crunch like this. So you guys currently right now are just in practice. We're just watching them driving around here, but I guess I didn't even know this until half an hour ago, but Ned Jarrett.
Yeah. 93 years old. I can't remember what year he got out of NASCAR, but he got out of the NASCAR pretty much right on the top of top of his game. I think it was the year that Fireball Roberts was killed in a fiery crash, and he could just see the writing on the wall. This is not safe. I'm going to get out of here before while I still can. Then weren't long after that, he was up in the booth, and he was a great commentator up in the booth.
He was. I remember him being. A lot of the guys that used to drive make really good commentators.
Yeah,
because they're not technically professionally trained like the broadcasters would be. I mean, they probably would be, though. Like, they wouldn't just let you go up there and do it. But yeah, no, he was always great.
But the thing is, too, it's knowledge. He raced those cars for many years. It's like you and I talked about earlier. We played this game. I bought it in 2002. I mean, pre-ordered it in 2002. I've had this, like a papyrus version. I've had NASCAR 1, NASCAR 2, NASCAR 3, 4, 1999. The whole series. I have every single one of those still. And so obviously they changed. The graphics changed quite a bit. If you were to do an in-car at Bristol now, the car that goes into the corner in front of you, you can still see the sponsorship. You can still see the mosquito on the back spoiler hanging on for dear life. NASCAR 1, you saw a black dot.
Yeah, you were following some speckles. Yeah, you were following speckles, and if the car was in front of you was black, it was a black dot. If it was white, it was a white dot. And the graphic has changed immensely, and even more so since this game was released. Were those
2003?
Were those multiplayer?
I
think you could.
I think you could, but it wasn't.
It was dial-up multiplayer, like 7 players.
It was played in DOS. It was played in the DOS format.
Oh, maybe not then.
To paint a car,
I wonder, like, we could somehow broadcast that. That'd be hilarious. We could find 10 guys to run. Maybe not even that one, but
I can't imagine what it would look like.
GP laps or something. Or
not imagine what
GP
that
Legends
would look like as a broadcast.
I could make this look like that. Look at that save.
Oh,
we're just watching. Sorry, we're just watching practice. Seminara and Eric Sullins just got together, and neither of them went down. That was cool. I could make this broadcast look really bad. I could crank up the pixel. I could crank up the pixelation. I definitely wouldn't do it in this kind of race, but if somebody ever wanted to run like a retro style race, I can definitely put graphical modifiers on the broadcast to make it look a little bit more pixelated, and the possibilities are endless.
Should have done was grabbed. I should have talked with Rodney Sullins to find out who Eric is, whether it's uncle, brother.
Hey, Blaine, Rod.
Yes, sir.
Hey now.
Hey, real quick. We got a couple new cars. I'm sure Brian told you about that. But second thing, we have two Beckers in here tonight. It's father and son. One of them is in Florida. The other one I'm not sure where it's at, but this is how they spend time together. So I just thought I'd let you guys know that.
And another question
cool.
you could probably answer for us too. Eric Sullins.
Eric Sullins is a cousin of Rodney. I don't think he's racing tonight, but will be shortly.
So he's just out practicing with the boys, trying to get used to racing with them.
Yeah, they just today got his wheel going, so he's pretty green.
He just made a wicked save there. Him and Seminara got together, and somehow neither of them wrecked. So that's pretty good for the resume.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Rodney told me that Eric used to race cars real life.
Oh,
so
cool.
he's been watching the broadcast, and now he wants to stick his nose in here.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it. What better way to do it? Come in, learn and practice, get it till you get yourself comfortable, and then get here and go out and race and have some fun with the guys. That's what I do. So it's pretty cool.
All right, guys, I gotta get back up here. We're getting chaotic up here.
Cool.
All right,
Thanks, Ken.
You guys have a good race.
Good race, guys.
Hopefully, we'll talk to you later, bud.
See you guys.
See you, bud.
Ken Roberts, race director. That chaotic is right. We got about 40 guys connected to this server. It was pretty wild. They made a delivery there yesterday, and just delivered a cell phone to a guy, and started talking about something, and it got into like video games, and we're pretty much the same age, like 44, 45 years old. And he's a sim racer. He races iRacing, and I was like, I played NASCAR 2003, and that came up. He was talking about Battlefield or something. I said, I still play NASCAR 2003 season. He goes, Papyrus? And I was like, no way, bro. You know what I'm talking about. And there's no way. He goes, man, I'm an iRacing guy. I can't believe that game's still going. And I'm like, well, see if we can get him out here now. I stood there on the clock talking to this guy for like 10 minutes. Sorry to keep you, man. I'm like, doesn't matter to me, man. I paid by the hour.
Yep.
Every delivery literally takes 10 seconds. So when one's going to take 5 minutes, I could care less. I'll stand there and talk for 5 minutes to a half dozen people every day, and it's not going to bother me. Yep. But that was super cool just to meet a random guy. I've never met him before. Just made a delivery to him, and he's got a streaming channel as well, and he got the racing rig with the steering wheels, and so yeah, he's in the same boat, man. Like, and I said, the game's free. The game's free, dude. So who knows? Maybe that guy, because we exchanged channel names. I've actually got to check my channel messages and get in contact with him. Because I said that to him too. I'm like, well, I guess we just became best friends.
You should check out Javier Negron's car. He is actually if he's just pulling in on pit road right now, what I would assume is kind of a sort of a nailed Ned Jarrett tribute car. It's basically, back cars weren't that flashy. They were pretty much, show cars with a roll cage in it. And,
he's got the cubic inches on the,
yep.
on the hood. That's neat. Team Wrecking Ball. You know what? That's a good tribute, because he's taking, like you said, he's taking the art style of like the 70s. Yeah. Is when they were pretty simple. They had a couple of basic lines and some colors, and they weren't getting as crazy as the Rodney Sullins paint jobs.
And I'm told that the USC Sandoval has one as well. I haven't seen him out there yet, but that's
the puppy.
Yeah, the puppy Sandoval. He's been wearing out the old bush car there for the last few weeks, so have to check it out.
There's a schedule. It looks like they're looking for a server reset. Might be going into a knockout situation.
I didn't look to see how many we have.
Pretty close. It said there was 39 connected, so
very good. That's actually cool, because we haven't had knockout qualifying over here yet. And the good news, got rained out tomorrow, so I will be here tomorrow for the Hawk Tribute race. That's pretty good.
Cool. Yeah, Benjamin in the YouTube chat there. He's just like, we will always be available on Tuesdays to broadcast. Anybody who runs a league in the middle of the week on a work day, definitely I'm not going anywhere. Unfortunately, sometimes we've got to push Friday and Saturday races away just because of weekend scheduling, and the wife and I go do whatever we do. But Tuesday's always a lock. And Yeah, so tomorrow, the Hawk Tribute Race, the Hawk Memorial at Michigan. Everybody, of course, is invited to that thing, SMO Gaming Simulations. Tuesday, we are at Maverick at Pocono. Wednesday, open setup at the ASR Cup Series. So the league that we're currently with right now, this series, of course, is their Superspeedway series on Saturdays. But the Wednesday series is an open setup series that follows the Cup schedule of the actual NASCAR league in real life. So, of course, they're at Michigan as well. Open setups are always cool to call live. And, of course, we're back at Talladega Superspeedway on Thursday with the RollingThunder.com with the Talladega Challenge.
Kind of hoping to try to talk Brian Wolf into be going up into the booth so I can go down there and race. I can be an in-race reporter, but I like setups, and I went there this year. I raced a little bit last year, a couple of times. I wanted to go this year. Basically, I was just, I went there to try to go for a championship. Unfortunately, I had spoke with Tom Musa, their TMP Racing, and we did a broadcast with them, and they were so happy with that broadcast that they wanted us to do more, and that kind of took my Wednesdays away for a little while. So now I'm out of the points. So either way, I'll either be racing or in the booth, but it's a great group of guys. Postal, his name is Nelson. I don't know his last name, but does an awesome job with it. It's stage racing. It's pretty cool. I mean, just how he runs it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, very unique. Like every league has different sets of rules. Then most leagues actually have different sets of rules and formats within the series that they run too. Like, every day of the week they run different car mod, they run at different tracks, and then there's different rules combined with all that. I remember like Talladega Nights had the Back to the Future series, which was OG install NASCAR 2003 season, and that's what you're getting.
You had to have
original Cup mod, original. Sorry.
You had to have the update. You had to have the update because the update, wouldn't, if you didn't have the update, you wouldn't be able to run in that. But it was.
Like the 1201 and then the 4 gig patch and all that stuff. But yeah, get the game current, but then like no extra mods required, no extra track downloads required. And of course, paint schemes are always fun.
Yeah, you just show up. It was I believe it was a fixed fast, which every track had. Yep. And it was basically kind of a, you were there as an admin to kind of keep control of the situation, but you didn't do anything. Tonight, basically, they'll do the double file restarts. And if someone on the outside, gets a little bit better jump or whatever, or I should say on the bottom, usually. Inside, yeah, and the inside, and they get a little bit of a jump, they get a black flag, they'll clear it. We did single file starts. There was just no, you didn't have to do anything but just, kind of police the guys a little bit, right. So.
But that was it. Yeah. They didn't clear any flags. If you got penalty, you had to serve it.
Yeah.
Hey man, I got, no, whatever, dude. Pit, do it to follow what your crew chief says. Cause you made a mistake. Now you got to fix it. So, and that's a good way to do it too. I mean, oh man, that's so old school. Yeah. Well, it's different. Because it's different from the Wednesday series, because then they run Aero 88 mods. And when we talk about mods, we talk about the cars we're looking at. Like tonight, we're running the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series 2019 mod. And there is a current next-gen mod, like the cars they run now in real life. They've updated everything. That exists in this game. They don't use it here, but other leagues use that. It's a cool mod, too. Aero 88 is really nice. Trucks, open wheel. I was talking with Nettlesick, and they were thinking about doing an open wheel race. They actually decided to pass, but we've actually never broadcasted an open wheel race here in NASCAR 2003. So I mean, there is a couple IndyCar mods, and there's a couple of F1 mods, I believe. I know there's at least one F1 mod.
Trying to find that mod.
And there's like an Oscar Mayer Wienermobile mod. There's every mod, a go-kart mod.
Mod that you were talking about, the latest one, I'm not sure what the acronym of it is. It's the SCRD space SC S22. So it's basically what they had for the cars in 2022, and it keeps it up to date. It's
okay.
it's a good mod, very good looking mod. I had problems with it with
Is
this.
it NASCAR or?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's basically take these cars and you gotta change them a little bit so they're what they're more currently like, because things have changed a little bit on these when they first came out with them.
Mhm.
Now there's a little bit more different air inlets, and the front of the spoiler comes up a little higher to let air go underneath it for downforce, and
Oh, okay.
basically the road course cars made to go roundy round.
Right. Yeah, that's another ones I forget. They got like a stadium truck mod, the original Project Wildfire Trans Am mod. That was cool because that allows a 7-gear
Blaine, I don't know
transmission.
if you copied or not. I'm so sorry
That's
to
a road
interrupt.
course
We're
pretty
having a
much,
server
set
issue.
up,
We may have to reboot the entire thing.
I think it was that mod, the FC mod, whatever the latest one. TMP actually took that mod and put it in, and it was the Trans Am physics, and so he had to work on making setups for it. But the reasoning behind it was the latest cars went to a 5-speed, so
Yeah.
he went and made it so that we had 5-speed.
Right. I just got a whisper from Brian Wolf. They're having issues with the server, so they actually may have to reboot not only the game but the entire server itself. So
Okay.
I don't know what the issue is. They have, I believe they were skipping qualifying tonight. I can't remember. It's an even number race. I think they actually are going to qualify tonight, but they've been having trouble getting in there, so they might have to reboot the server. So we might have to kill some time here, but we can always do that. They pay us to talk, so that's how she rolls. Thanks again, of course, to Bryant Motorsport Auto Sales for sponsoring this entire season. Always very cool. Season number 2 of the Premier Talladega Superspeedway. Almost said it. the Premier Talladega Superspeedway Series, sponsored in its entirety by Bryant Motorsport Auto Sales. It's David Chin in cahoots with them, and so there goes the server. They're probably into a reboot mode right now. Place your bets. Benjamin Snyder in the YouTube chat. We're talking about mods. Of course, he says, yeah, Bullring 2015. That's a great one. We'll be running that one tomorrow? No, we'll be running that one on Wednesday. Is it BR15 on Wednesday open? Open series at ASR?
Yes.
I think it is. Yep.
Yeah, it's BR15.
I think.
Because I got to change my car from the 31 on Tuesday to the broadcast car, and then turn around and change it back.
Right.
And the amount of cars between Maverick and ASR Open Cup Series, there's quite a few cars in there, and the broadcasting's up and around the 700 number. And
Can you get in, Blaine?
I just got to yell that.
Blaine, whenever you're ready to come back in, let me know.
Okay, we're trying to get back in there now. Race is full. Can you? Do you have Brian on whisper? Can you bring Brian down here? He's whispering to me, but I can't talk back to him. I didn't set my button up properly.
I got to find him because he's way up top.
Way up top, yeah. It's full rack. Looking for Brian. Sorry, Brian. I can hear you whispering, but I didn't set my whisper up properly.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, we're having a server issue. I think we're set now. If you can get back in, we're looking for you on the server.
Race is full. It says. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would have done it. There's too many people. Somebody get out of my way. The great thing about being a broadcaster is we get priority boarding.
Yeah.
Can you? Okay. Couple guys had to back all the way out, Blaine, and start over. I do apologize for that, but we're showing only 37 in the.
It's telling me it's full because they've claimed a spot. Are you able to shut it down completely and then?
You just got
This car for Grandma. Me too. He got it at Bryant Motorsports on High Street in Portsmouth. She's really gonna love it. I know, right? If you need a car, give us a call at 393-2600. That's 393-2600.
At the Parts Barn Used Auto Parts, we're crushing cars and prices. The last Saturday of every month is half price. We pull for you, or you pull your own and save even more. Call or search inventory at partsbarnva.com. The Parts Barn, Suffolk and Portsmouth.
Seven guys.
And we're back. That was cool. Yeah, so there's our sponsors, Bryant Motorsport Auto Sales and the Parts Barn. And yeah, kind of a weird glitch. We've been playing this thing how long? 29 years or something, and that's the first time that's ever happened. I wasn't able to get back in the server.
Away we're going to qualify.
I think I was taking up too many
Sorry
spots.
about the mix-up there.
Jumped out. You were able to get back in. I jumped back in. We were good.
Yeah, that was so strange. I was in my 998 and it didn't let me in. And you moved out of my way, and then we both walked in together. Yep. So we just had to be holding hands when we came through the door.
That's all that matters. Got to figure it out.
Yeah. Chris Elliott in the chat. What's up, Blaine and Rod? What's up, Mr. Elliott?
How come Mr. Elliott's not out here wheeling a car tonight? That's the question.
Yeah, unfortunately, too, we had news there about Jeffrey, and Jeannie contacted me. We mentioned it in the Thursday broadcast as well, but yeah, he's undergoing chemo and radiation, and yeah, that's thoughts are with Jeff and Ginny and Chris and the whole crew, just because like I was saying too on the Thursday broadcast, Jeffrey Elliott basically allowed, not basically like he did, Jeffrey Elliott allowed Brian Wolf and I, when I started TARNATION TV with Wolf, he allowed us to do, and he pushed us. But we used and abused Talladega Nights Racing League for a long time, honing this thing, all the little glitches. I had notepads every week of stuff that would go wrong, and then I would fix that stuff. And I always had backups and different switches to change different things. And, without Jeffrey Elliott allowing us to get in there and just demolish his broadcasts, it evolved into what it is now, where it's pretty much flawless. I've pretty much got everything locked in, and every week I can just fire it up and use it. And this is a very complicated broadcast because there's so much stuff going on. But yeah, we can't thank Jeffrey enough for letting us do that. So yeah, man, hope you get well soon, buddy. And of course, there he is in the YouTube chat. Hi, Blaine and Rod. Thank you for Thursday. Love you guys. Good luck. Have fun. Jeffrey Elliott. Boom. Mic drop and he's gone. Thanks for watching, Jeff.
Thanks for walking, but yeah, Jeff, actually, I kind of joined, over in, joined racing and doing this Talladega stuff because of Jeff. So he invited me to come over, and then I checked it out and started doing Talladega nights, and it was a lot of fun.
Well, even the weird thing too was like Wolf was actually going to just give up on the game because, you're kind of stuck in between leagues and you're just like, eh. And then once he kind of latched on to that end gun violence tribute to Ken and Hinnon and ending gun violence in general after what happened there, we've done tribute races to Ken and like fundraisers for him. And that kind of renewed Brian's interest in the game again. Like it was like a fresh start. And then getting in with the broadcasting thing, it was like, it's a whole new lane for me because all I ever used to do was drive. So let's take my favorite game ever. Like, every time somebody asks you about your favorite game, I'm always trying to think. It's NASCAR. NASCAR 2003 season. It always is. Because every new computer I build, I have to get this game working. It's the first thing I do.
Always the first one you install.
It is. I get Windows up, running, optimized. I do all my optimization Windows tweaks. I got these utilities I use on these guys I follow on YouTube. Get Windows all stripped down, no more, like especially Windows 11. What a nightmare. Freed up like 8 gigs of RAM, just removing all the AI Copilot stuff. There's tutorials on YouTube to show you how to do that. But then the first thing I actually do when it's go time is get this game working. It's a no-brainer every time, like, oh yeah, favorite game, Grand Theft Auto 4, what am I, Resident Evil 5, GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64, like, yeah, Mario Kart, sure. But it really is NASCAR Racing 2003 season because we've been playing this since 2003.
It's like the same thing. Every time I move someplace, first thing I set up, I bring, and the first thing to get there is always the computer. It's always set up, and it's always ready to go racing.
And it only... I mean, there's obviously lists of fantastic games, like even Valheim. Like I've only been playing that for a couple of months, but that game is really good. But it's like longevity-wise, nothing's ever going to top NASCAR 2003. Because even when we were talking about Chris Elliott's series, the Back to the Future series, where he's running stock Cup series that launched with the game, I just went back on an old hard drive that I had in 2002. 2003, and I found all my old car paints, and that I just took it, and it's always been the number 72, so I didn't even have to modify it. I took it, I put it in, and I raced it. And on the back bumper of the car, it's like, coming soon, Half-Life 2 2004. And it was a Half-Life 2 sponsored car because I loved Half-Life. That's another game that was just phenomenal.
Never got a chance to play it.
My NASCAR sponsor was like, I'm using that one. That's so cool. I didn't change it. I'm using a 23-year-old car file. Unchanged.
Right now they're in qualifying. They're still kind of going through it all. They each and every week, this week is a qualifying week. So everybody that would like to qualify has the opportunity to go out and they can qualify. If you do not want to qualify, that's fine. You don't have to. You can start in the back. But then they switch it over from that week. They go to, the next week it's lotto qualifying. So, and that you don't have to be the best qualifier in the world. Just automatically you could get sent right out, and you could be on the pole and it's random. So unless you don't want to, then you have to jump out during qualifying. You jump back in and then you will start at the back.
Yeah, odd weeks are lotto, and even race numbers, like race number 8, they actually run the times. But looks like we are finally qualified. A little bit of a late start tonight, so apologize for that, just with the server issues, and we got it all figured out. We're only about, 20 minutes behind, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, like we always say, the error is human. To really mess things up, you need a computer.
Yep.
something's not going right with mine 100%, but I'm able to watch the replays and stuff. But just like the qualifying's up, but it's got into happy hour already. It says it's in happy hour. So that's why I jumped out a minute ago to see if I could fix that. But
yeah, I'm in happy hour. Nobody's on the track. Obviously, these guys are doing driver's meeting right now. Thanks again to everybody for watching on YouTube, on the replay, live, whatever you're doing. Thank you very much.
And it's time for them, the guys, they learn the ins and outs. They get their hand slapped if they did something wrong last week, not necessarily in an individual, as a group. If they kind of made a mistake or something they didn't like, they get their hand slapped, and then hopefully they're reminding them that if they get moved to the interview waiting room, that not very long after that, you are going to be in the booth with us. So we didn't pick out a driver to talk to tonight, too. So early, but we kind of had issues, so we couldn't do that.
This drone is hard to fly upside down. Holy moly. But yeah, big week coming up. So if you are subscribed to the channel, you'll get notifications for all the races coming up. We got one tomorrow, and then we got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and we got Saturday off. But race number 9 will be running. It will not be. I mean, if they want to find another broadcaster, that's totally cool. Like get Top Dragster, Flat Out Racing Network. There's all kinds of different guys that can do this stuff. So, and then I've done that before, where if FRN or JTN or Top Dragster have had to cover a race that we've been hired to do this season, I'll take their video and put it in the playlist. So you'll always be able to watch every race. So if we did race 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and Andrew does number 9, and then we do number 10, I've got a playlist on there for the, season 2. Andrew's race will be on that list. That way, if you did want to watch the whole entire season, it would be, every race would be there.
There we go. Fighting with my broadcast because things weren't working the way I want them to work. It's one of those nights.
Yep, gremlins. My broadcast is working great. On Thursday, we had a lot of stuttering issues because I was on the server and I was just watching my frames drop. And there's always going to be a few frames dropped, but I dropped like 20% of the race got dropped. And I'm like, my upload speed, it's set to, this is technical crapola for people who care. 8,000 kilobits per second are sent to YouTube to keep it in crystal clear high definition. When that starts dropping down to like 100, it's only really sending the audio. So you could still hear us talking, but you couldn't see anything because everything would freeze. So the issue there is I didn't know what the issue was. After I went to shut my computer down, it's like, okay, shutting down Steam, and then it shut the computer down. I'm like, shutting down Steam? Steam shouldn't have been running. So I have a feeling I had Steam running, and it was probably updating a game like Gray Zone, Valheim, Red Dead Redemption 2. I've only got like 3 or 4 games installed. So if Steam was behind the scenes looking for updates, that might have been cooking my upload. So unfortunately, that kind of wrecked it. But man, what a finish!
So that looks like they're all done in the meeting. We got Brian Wolf in the booth. You got a copy, Brian?
I do. How you guys doing tonight?
Other than technical gremlins, great.
Yeah, no, we got to maybe apologize to the fans for that. We were supposed to go live a little while ago, but just want to thank, I always appreciate the opportunity to get up here and thank our sponsors, Dave Chin and ASR Racing, All-Star Racing League as a whole entity. We thank them and Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales and Parts Barn for the sponsorship and providing us our server and our TeamSpeak and our broadcasting. And thank you guys, TARNATION TV, Blaine and Rod. You guys are doing a fantastic job as always. We've experienced some growing pains here over the first 2 seasons, but I think we're getting there. I think we have a record number tonight. So hopefully we're going to see some excitement, and we won't have too many fires to put out tomorrow morning.
Question for you. Because we're unable to broadcast next Saturday, race number 9, were you going to grab a different broadcasting crew? Because I'll totally advertise that.
No. no, actually, we're going to take that time off to maybe fine tune some other things that are going on around here behind the scenes, and we can do that off the air, I think.
Oh, okay. The race will still run. It'll just be untelevised.
Right. And then, yeah, we're going to do that. And then we might have some highlight videos or maybe some clips to show for our championship race coming up on I think it's the 20th. You guys will be back with us for that. So maybe we'll have something, pretty exciting. The points are really close. He's got, I think Denny Carroll, number 41's got a 37-point lead, something like that.
Yep.
He's had just a tremendous season. So he's really has a target on him for the next, 2 through 10, and especially 2 through 6 or 7. I think the points are really close. There's a couple guys that are tied in there, and so we're yeah.
You're working your way back up.
We noticed too. We got word from Ken that Matt Becker and Rick Becker are father-son, and this is how they hang out because they live in different states.
Yeah, they're new to us, actually. Yeah, we're welcoming a few new guys last week and this week. So, I mean, we're growing. This thing is really catching on. We've pretty much cornered the market on Saturday nights for, the place to be if you're a sim racer and you want a challenge. This is it.
This is a good one, man. And after Thursday at RTG, it's just the super speedway talent we're surrounded by is absolutely unreal. These races are more fun to watch than real NASCAR most of the time. Let's be honest.
Oh, I know, right? It's like and to be in the center of it all. A lot of people don't realize what goes on behind the scenes to put all this together. From your end and from our end of the league and the technical stuff, we experienced a little while ago. We try not to panic over that stuff because the show must go on. Mm-hmm. But this is we've landed here on Saturday nights the best super speedway racers from around the community. We've got guys from all over here, and they're all chomping at the bit trying to win. And it's just been incredible for our first 2 seasons. We're calling it a success, and we're going to keep moving forward, coming up with some new stuff and fine tuning the rules. And our rules package is pretty tough. Our incidents package and all that stuff. We've got a few drivers on DNQs tonight, which is do not qualify. We've got a couple, I think, on one in parks. So they're getting close, but we're trying to, we're trying our best. Do I still have you guys?
Sorry, I dropped my pen. Who do you have on one in park?
I know the 53 is on one in park for the rest of the season. He's gotten quite a few incidents, but he's new to us actually too. He's kind of still Mike Brush is on a little bit of a learning curve, but last week he went incident free, had a top 10 finish, and so these guys are really working at it.
Yeah, what better place to learn, right? That's the great thing, too, about all these different racing leagues. And it's all one big happy family. And, especially this track, It's a different style of racing out here. And, more than willing to share knowledge. You never be afraid to ask questions.
Oh, yeah. We're always willing to help. We want good quality racing here. And we try to keep the incidents, or the yellows, the cautions down. We don't want to ride around all night under caution. So we, the bigger the fields, the more apt we are to have yellows, and sometimes they breed each other, but it's it is what it is. Once the green flag drops, it's kind of out of our hands. It's in the driver's hands then, so there's no real control over that. But I think our rules package and our incidents package, kind of takes care of itself by the end of the season. So we're looking forward to that.
Nice. Yeah, I guess you're getting ready to rock and roll here. We've run out of time on. Oh my, Ulysses just got thrown. There's a little bit of a demolition derby once they pull out the red flag. It's go time.
Well, then you have that. Yeah, these guys are just clowning. You know what I mean? Trying to relieve some tension maybe before the race starts. But God bless their hearts.
Yeah. Oh, Greg's got it in for. Here he goes again. Oh. Giving Ulysses Sandoval the business. But anyway, man, This is going to be a good race. It always is, and we're excited to call it for you.
Okay, we may be resetting here. I think somebody may have fallen off the server. I'm getting whispers in my ear. So, but we're ready to go, man. Thanks for having me up here, and thank you guys, man, for hanging with us for the whole season. And like I said, Saturday nights is locked for us, man. So,
yep,
away we go.
Away we went.
Yeah, you're 6 in points. You moved up from last week. Keep going. Keep working up there. You can get up there in that top 3 for sure.
Yeah, that's the plan. That is the plan for sure.
Well, good luck tonight, bud.
Thank you, man. These guys are strapping in. I gotta go.
He is correct. We'll get a look at the starting grid here. As we end up being up, we're about 20 minutes behind. So that's,
Just to give you a weird one, I don't have a start button. Can't go in and jump out.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know why. Something's happened. It don't matter. I'm still here. It's still working. Still doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So for us to do this, I just can't go out there and drive. So
neat. Yeah, I always let the timer count down. I learned that from Seth Cole. He's like, just let it count down and the game won't crash. I'm like, all right, cool. Getting a good look at these cars here. Full field tonight.
Chuck McClure out there, yeah. Maybe that was the one that there was having troubles. Oh, it was 4th place car. Sorry, Brian Level was not out there. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, Rodney Sullivan's on the pole. Reg Level 2nd. Tim Anderson 3rd. Brian Level 4th. Ken Roberts in the 5th spot. Kelly Cosla is going to start 6th. 7th is be RJ Cabana. 8th. Chuck McClure. 9th is Denny Carroll. 10th is Nate Balzer. 11th, John Godfrey. 12th, Tim Knopser, guy that got me the bracket challenge last Thursday.
Yep.
13th is Brian Schelling. 14th, Mike Mangialardi. 15th, Randy Waugh. 16th, Billy Elliser. 17th, Robert Spring. 18th, Doug Hewitt. 19th, Bob the Biscuit Seminara. 20th is Brian Rasson. And I'm going to let you do from there down because I can't see beyond 26.
Oh, okay.
If something's wrong, I can do the broadcast, but I can't do the rest.
Qualifying. What was the last one you had, Rawson?
20th, yeah.
20th for Brian Rawson. You got David Little and David Chin. And then you've got Mike Brush and Mark Paglia. And then you've got in the 25th spot, you've got Cy Jones and Rick Becker. Javier Negron and Sean Turner. And you got me next to Mike Becker, but that'll end up being Garland Oaks. And Brand Setter and Breedlove, Ulysses Sandoval, Cody Lamas, Brian Wolf, Bobby Farrell, and Rod Weston in last place. Shameful.
That's the figure. Put me all the way in the back.
Yep.
Looking in the chat, Mackenzie Weston's in there. Of course, he talked about Jeffrey Elliott. Denny Carroll did a shout out in there. And, Jeffrey Elliott. Go get him there, Denny. So, points leaders out there. Has some people, pulling for him in the chat.
Yeah, Denny's the one, man. That thing, he's been having such a good run. The points gap from first to second is 37 points, which isn't a lot, but it's a lot. When you look at the rest of the standings, like, it's all pretty close. But the gap to first is definitely amplified. He's had some good finishes.
And Denny's starting right up there in the 9th position, so he's somewhere near the front. I know Greg Lovell started on the outside of the front row, and then you've got Chuck McClure, who is right up there near the front. So all Denny's got to do is just kind of keep his head down, try to stay near these guys. Don't let them get too many points. If you can get more points than they can. But if you can't, try to stay as close to them as you can. You got a little bit of a cushion, just keep that point tight.
Tim Anderson side by side with Sullins.
Sullins moved from the high side up. That moved Tim Anderson down from the bottom. Again, a great push by Ken Roberts, RJ Cabana, and Denny Carroll.
leading one lap, like we were talking before, every point counts. It's so tight, you know, that lap led gives Tim some bonus points. Get that out of the way on lap 1 is a relief. He's not going to have to pull any weird pit strategy to try to claim one lap led. So,
just looking, you know, Tim has only had 3 starts on the season, so he's not really there in the points.
Oh, okay.
He's one of these guys, you know, he races with the RTP guys on Thursday. They race exactly the same track, same mod. I don't know how close the setup is. I do know that the setup has a little bit different steering ratio, so it might be slightly different, probably very, very similar. Tim Anderson, you know, I guess you never get enough practice, and you possibly can come out here and steal a win.
I love that car paint too, man. Just, you know, blue, red, white, Bass Pro Shops, 33 on the roof. Let's go.
Yeah.
Very simple. I mean, everything Rodney does is amazing. You know, Bernie Mob, Seth Cole, there's so many painters. But then sometimes it's the simple ones that really stick out too, you know, because we're so used to so many different things.
Look at Kelly Cossey, you know, in his 0-0.
Yeah.
It's just as simple. The numbers are kind of an odd, weird little font, but the only one out there like that, it's got them. It's a nice looking car. Chuck McClure got Nate Balzer behind him. They're trying to see if they can get up there and get that third group going.
Yeah, I never really thought of that. Kazi going with the 0-0 is kind of like a logo.
Yeah.
You know, it could be, you know, like it looks like a shield.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. Or cross eyes. One or the other.
I was going to say, as he went up to the high side there, it looks like I thought for a moment maybe McClure was going to go with him. He kind of looked like he weren't, and then he decided, no, we're going to go. So Tim Noster right behind him, like I was saying earlier, he was the points leader. I was 32nd. That the bracket challenge against him, the points leader. Almost had him with that wreck at the end. It kind of got me, so I didn't get him though. Drop back. I hope I'm still in the top 30, but we'll see.
I've got the camera locked on the 880 there of Greg Lovell, just because he's kind of in the hornet's nest of this whole thing. A lot of cars.
It's funny how that middle groove will do so well. Everybody wants to be there. And then the third groove forms. They start getting on either side of it, and that middle groove just doesn't go.
If there's enough people on that high side, it definitely swallows that middle line. Oh no, Roddy Sullins. Nice save. My gosh. We were seeing that happening in practice, because you were out there practicing too in your Jagermeister car. And we were watching guys door banging each other and just kind of doing like the lane drift and then being able to catch it. Keep in mind, they're doing 200 miles an hour when that's happening.
Yeah.
No big deal.
No. Yeah.
A quick stab at the brakes and a quick wheel jerk, and it usually straightened it out, maybe.
Back on the gas. He lost a little bit of momentum there. And he'll have it right back here shortly, now that he's got Chuck McClure right behind him pushing and Brian Schilling in front of them. So
I forget that that's Brian Schilling in the 62, because look at them go. Look at that push.
Yeah.
Yowza. I forget he's running a 62 here tonight. His number 4 is, I can't remember who number 4 is.
I was trying to remember who the number 4 was, because I don't remember seeing one over here. Apparently somebody has the number 4, so he showed up in the 62. Spears car, that was, I want to say that was, I can't even think of the guy's name now. That's gonna escape me. I'll remember at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll give you a call. Park Series, Dax Gregg. Dax Gregg always had the Spears sponsor stuff. Could be wrong, but I think it was him.
Anderson line, yeah. Moving to the middle again. Pit window, of course, as always, we run 2x fuel, or sorry, a 2 times modifier on the pit frequency, which means, what is pit frequency? Gosh, I don't know. In real life, you can probably get like 40 to 45 laps, I think, is it, on a tank of fuel?
Something like that.
So then in here, we crank it up to 2 times, so it goes down to about 20. Pit window will be opening usually around lap 18 or 19, depends if you're pushing or not. And we saw that happen on Thursday too with.
If you're Tim Anderson out there, you're probably if this thing goes all the way to the green flag pit stops. He's probably going to have to pit around 18 laps into it.
Yeah.
You look at Ken Roberts and them guys; they're easily 19. You get back to about John Godfrey, Randy Waugh, Greg Lovell. These guys they end up having to lift a little bit more just because of the way the momentum and the line will go. You'll see it kind of all of a sudden people kind of back off a little bit. Well, that's just because they've caught them up to him a little bit. They have to lift, and so that causes you just saw John Godfrey kind of back off from Denny Carroll. Probably almost going to hit him. Probably backed off so he didn't hit him in a spot that would be detrimental to Denny Carroll.
Mm-hmm.
And he backed off a little bit. Then of course John Godfrey got to him. Well, where Randy Waugh was there, he had to lift. That lift saves fuel. So if you're further back into that, obviously you get a little bit better gas mileage. You look at what Ken Roberts is doing to Tim Anderson as they get to the straightaways. Ken's just pushing him. He's got that bumper tied right to the back of him. RJ Cabana's kind of been pushing him a little bit. But as you get further back to that doesn't really do any good. You know what I mean? It doesn't do you any good to actually physically touch the car back there. So you'll see them guys just kind of stay off from each other. They try to keep the momentum up as much as they possibly can. As RJ Cabana says, I've had enough of being back there in third. Takes that down to the bottom. Gets followed through by Denny Carroll, John Godfrey, and Randy Waugh.
And that high line is moving.
So you're going to see that middle line.
We saw that on Thursday too. It was, I believe it was Chuck McClure who was leading most of the last half of the race. Came down to a fuel mileage race. He ran out of gas coming out of turn 4, and then Paglia ended up winning. But he was out of gas crossing the line. So you talk about McClure would have made it if he wasn't leading the last 20 laps.
Yep.
Because he was pushing all the wind. Therefore, he has to keep his foot to the mat where everybody behind him is kind of doing that rubber band that you're always talking about. You kind of in and out of it a little bit of fluttering on the gas pedal. He literally saved a quarter more of a lap by doing it.
Yep, and then ran out of gas across the line, rolled to the backstretch. The guys are always kind of come up and give each other little, nudges and hits and just congratulate him. He got spun around on the backstretch. He was done. Couldn't go anywhere. Didn't have any fuel.
Craig Hagley was trying to push him, but we always end up talking about different leagues. But we do so much of this broadcasting, it's just all the things we see every night. It's always different. Never the same race twice. Here we come here again with 40 more cars. So we were here on Thursday. We're back here at Talladega Superspeedway again. This is the Rolling Thunder version of this. It's a little bit wider pit road, which is very interesting. Thanks to John Godfrey for widening that up. And there he is sitting in 6th right there. But, very cool modification, making more real estate on pit road. And it's never the same race twice. Whoa.
Oh, no.
That is not good.
I think Carroll's in that one, and he's just got to land. Nobody hit him. Coming at it.
Oh, landed on the hood of the car. Mike Mangialardi. That's our points leader there. 41, Denny Carroll.
Hopefully he doesn't have any damage on that one.
Oh, yeah, these guys race back. I forget this all the time. Brian Schilling retains first place. And we will be under yellow for the first time this evening at the end of lap number 12.
Hopefully for Denny Carroll, he doesn't have any severe damage. If they do have to do anything to it, it's just a little tap. Didn't really hit anything too hard. I just don't know the car landing on top of him, what the damage will be done from that.
Yeah, it didn't look bad, but then again, the angle that it comes down on, we don't know what the game is going to say.
And a lot of that, the driver can actually find out once they get into pit road. They start banging on it with a hammer a little bit. If it's a short time, usually it's not too bad. Shouldn't have too much effect on him. When you start hearing him digging up the Sawzall, you're in trouble.
So the 29, of Mangialardi shoots to the wall, gets hooked at the last second, and does a backflip and lands on top of the 41. What a move. What? That was crazy. It's almost like he did a pole vault. See if we can get on the 029 here and actually see that from his angle. I can find him in this mess. He's here somewhere. Got him.
David Chen, high side, trying to stay out of the accident. And then I think it was Ryan Gilardi that came across and just planted him into the wall.
And that was they both helped each other flip.
Hopefully, Chin's car's not too damaged. David Chen here on Saturday night has probably the worst luck that I've seen of most. Oh no! A little bit of impact going down pit road. Javier Negron is spun around.
After this pit stop is done, did you want to grab Mangialardi?
Yeah, we could do that.
And ask him how he figured out how to do that backflip.
The pole vaulting trick.
Yeah.
Was just trying to find him so I can grab him. Let him get his pit stop done. Yeah, no, he pole vaulted that thing pretty good.
Yeah.
And they're still pounding on it. Let's see if we can get him down here.
See if we can get an interview here with Mike Mangialardi. Mike, you got us.
You got Rod and Blaine in the booth. You got a copy.
I hear you.
So, new trick on pole vaulting, huh? I think that turned around sideways.
We were admiring your backflip.
Yeah, I went for a roll there, didn't I?
Yeah. That's the car that they beat on it too, for quite a while.
I could see my house from there anyway.
Yeah. So when did you become a pilot,
I know. I don't even have my license. Hope FAA ain't watching.
Yeah, because you were doing barrel rolls in a plane there, without a pilot's license. But how bad's the car? Did they beat on it for a bit, or is it, just quick?
Yeah, they shut the engine off, so I've got motor damage.
That sucks.
Well, you mentioned that you hope the FAA's not watching, but I know who is watching. The boys at the Rainier Room.
Yeah, I think I'm doing 164 down the back stretch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. About 15 mile an hour off pace. Well, hopefully that thing holds together for you. You can maybe leapfrog a couple of guys.
Yeah, I'll hang in as long as I can anyway. I'm up in the points, so I got to do what I can.
Yeah, you're fourth in points, only 46 out, so you got to stay out there, just get as many points as you can. But
yeah, that didn't help very, very much though.
Oh no, you pole vaulted that thing very well. And it just went right up and over backwards. You have to wait till you see the broadcast of it. You just kind of turned, got hooked with David Chen there up on the wall, and you were just airborne.
Yeah, there's not much to do when you're in the middle.
All right, but
another question before we let you go. Who painted your car?
This is a Bernie Mob's car, so thank you, Bernie, if you're watching.
That's cool, man.
Very nice.
We're looking at it right now. But yeah, we'll let you get back at it, and yeah, hopefully that thing holds together for a little while.
I hope it makes it through the end, so we'll see.
All right, well, good luck in the rest of the evening. Hopefully it stays together for you, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
New thing. Grab a guy after he's been in an accident.
Yeah.
Something that they wanted to try, so we're doing it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Mike. Saying that now, we were watching him full speed about 165. He should be doing about 179, 181, sort of in there. So that is motor damage. It won't be a top performance, but hopefully it doesn't blow up on him. That can be stressful on the motor. This is a long race. I don't know if it's going to hold the whole time, but I guess we're going to find out.
In sad news, David Chen has retired after that, as well as Brian Rasson. Brian Lovell
looks like he's probably gone too, eh?
Yeah, he did not take the green. Now he could potentially probably come back in if he could get back in, and would be able to possibly start. Who knows how that would go? But
that's too bad. Well, we were talking before about was it Matt? Yeah, Matt Becker and Rick Becker. There's Matt right there, new to the league. And Rick Becker.
Rick Becker raced.
Father and son.
Rick Becker raced here last week. Was his first race here. And Don't know which is the older, which is the younger, but Mark Becker's first run here tonight.
Oh, Matt Becker just disappeared. So Matt Becker has retired, I believe. That's unfortunate. We got a good look at the car, though. And there's Rick in the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, he's been here a couple weeks. Matt was a new addition this evening. Unfortunately, it looks like he just retired. Lights are off, so we will be going green.
Rodney Sullivan's on point. Ryan Sullivan outside. Chuck McClure third. Fourth is RJ Cabana. Sixth is Bob, the Demonera. And Doug Hillick, Mark Paglia, winner from Thursday. And Randy Waugh, Ken Roberts, and rounding out your top 10 is Robert Breedlove. We got to get Breedlove a Pepsi, not a Pepsi car. We got to get him a Coke.
Yeah, right.
I'll do Pepsi.
It'd be more funny if he won the Coca-Cola sponsored race. Whoops. I wonder if there's ever been competing soda pop companies in the same race. Is that even allowed to happen? I would assume if they're paying for the car, it would be. But what if the Pepsi guy won like the Coke 400?
They've had that back and forth. It used to be the Coca-Cola 400, and Jeff Gordon was sponsored by Pepsi.
Yeah.
And then somewhere along the lines, it switched over to the Pepsi 400, and Jeff Gordon was sponsored by Coca-Cola. I'm not really sure. I'm looking at the chat. There's a Pumpkin Vine ATV Club.
That's Bob Sire.
Is it Bob Sire?
Yep.
Sure. I'm in Cherokee, North Carolina, watching the race on the way out on the porch.
Oh, he's on the porch. Nice. Yeah. We're currently attached to the 889 of RJ Cabana to his left rear wheel on this restart. Doesn't get any closer to the tarmac than this.
What bumper cam, right?
Pretty much, right on the side skirt. Rear quarter panel cam.
See him go from the high side down the bottom side. Moving up, now here comes the top of this seminary going to the high side. Well, now they move. Now Rodney Sullins and McClure, they move up in front of Brian Sullivan. Middle group, where everybody likes to be. Cabana on the inside, trying to do something on that inside to see if he could, work his way up there. Got to get a little bit more organized. Ken Roberts is starting to catch up to Paglia's rear bumper. Dave Little, Brandstetter, and Denny Carroll on the bottom group. They're trying to get formed up.
Oh, sorry, Pumpkin Vine ATV Club. That's Keith Bynum. He just corrected me in the YouTube chat. I forgot about that. Yeah, ATV Club. He's always got that written on the back of his window. Sorry about that, Keith. I see Pumpkin and I just think Bob Pumpkin Sire.
He was, he usually races Thursday with us and he wasn't there. Someone said something about he's on vacation. So. Probably at the lake. That's usually what happens when he's not racing. I think he's got to get himself a system set up at the lake so that he can actually race while he's there.
Well, like you said, he's on the way to on his way to the porch watching the race. That's cool.
Yeah.
And guess how many frames we've dropped this evening? 0%.
Perfect.
So I think it was the fact, unfortunately, that steam was running and I did not realize it. Oh man! And Thursday was such a good race too. We did get the finish. The finish was fine. Again, it was only 15 or 20%, which is too much. I feel so bad when glitches happen because, they pay us to do this stuff and it should be a quality product, but, gremlins.
Well, those
glitches.
Those Valheim gremlins. Valheim gremlin, yeah.
Yeah.
The joke was the other day we're going to cancel all broadcasts because we're suffering from a new disease called Valheimism.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't know what Valheim is, it's a game we've been playing. I think, actually, Rod, thank you very much. You bought it for me.
Yeah.
It's on Steam. It was like $15-20.
It was usually about $25 or something like that, and it went on sale for $9.99. So I bought you and
see, that's the
Spring about.
It's the great thing about Steam. You get these little independent companies. They make one game, and it won tons of awards, and I'd never heard of it. And my goodness, is it fun.
Yep.
And survival Viking, it's a Viking thing, but yeah, it's cool. It's like Steam's great. I mean, of course, this thing's fantastic. It's abandoned now, so it's completely free. But Steam is such a great platform for just the independent developer. You can get your thing on there. You can charge $30. Like I bought Gray Zone Warfare for $20, and it's a top level title, but it's not $100.
Rodney Sullivan.
Go ahead.
Hey, Rodney Sullivan's got 7 laps led thus far. The most so far, let's see, Chuck McClure, Brian Sullivan has led 2 apiece, and no, sorry, I take that back. Tim Anderson has led 7, so we just tied him. But I was just trying to look to see where Rodney Sullivan was in the points. Let's find out where he is. Not in the top 10.
We're just taking a look at Chuck McClure's engine block right there. I was trying to get the camera flipped around. Just how close these guys are. Much like real life, exactly like real life. You're bump drafting the whole way around. This is a pack racing track. Yellow flag is up.
Still green on the screen, is it?
Nope, they're lifting.
Okay. It went by
straight away now.
Okay, so that's, I still remember I'm having issues with the computer. So I can't hit, couldn't click into the garage. I can't do a lot of things. The lights are staying green for me. So.
Oh, wow. That's weird.
Yeah, something weird. Well, I jumped out to let you in. And
right, and something got hooked.
I came in under your issues, and so, but either way. But Rodney Sullivan is currently 21st in points. But he has also missed a race.
Right.
So he's in that kind of got to win, get some more points, see if he can't get himself back in there. We've seen him have bad races and still come back on the Early 8 Series.
It was the 880. Wow. What happened there? That was weird. I didn't really see it from that angle. It went, Greg Lovell's car went straight right for no reason. I didn't even see any, on my screen, I saw zero contact from anybody on that.
Could have been a wheel issue. Could have been his wheel disconnected.
Look at this. There's nobody even close to him. Tim's a half car length away from him. The thing just turned right and almost went through the wall. And then, of course, brouhaha.
Like the cat grabbed the USB port and pulled it out?
Yeah. He's definitely headed to the pits. Unfortunately, he's got some major damage.
Come in here second in points, too. 37, behind. So I just got the bug whispered through in my ear that his wheel did disconnect. That is what happened. So.
You called that one. Wheel comes out and then the thing goes straight.
Yep. Apparently, so far, fastest lap tonight, Garland Oaks out there, 201.003. That is 47.595 miles per hour.
Nice.
It's time. So,
well, Greg is getting service, so they will try to fix this thing. It's a long track, so he won't need to cut it short. When you are on pit road getting damage repaired, you can push the space bar to tell your crew to stop. Because if you were on a shorter track, you really got to watch that pace car doesn't come around and catch you, put your lap down. Tell your crew to stop, drive out, go back in again, continue where they left off, repairing major damage.
And as long, and at Martinsville, that amount of damage he has right there, so they did a pretty good job of fixing that up. Mm-hmm. As long as he doesn't have any engine damage, at Martinsville, he'd be fine. Here, even if he doesn't have the engine damage, it might be okay in the draft. He probably won't be able to, pull out by himself, or whatnot. He'll need somebody around him to keep him probably in it, but who knows? It might be okay. We've seen stranger things. We've seen Rodney Sullivan with the whole back of the car ripped right off and still just as strong as ever because he didn't have any damage on the front. unfortunately, did see Greg go nose first into the wall. So
Bobby Farrell still running no sponsor on that 16.
Still haven't got him talked into putting the Tarnation TV on there.
We should do it.
Robert Spring decided to stay out. He's going to try to see if he can lead a lap. I think Brian Wolf must have stayed out the first time around. Got his bonus points. Need those, keep themselves in that points. Robert Spring comes in tonight. He is an 8th. He 65 points behind Denny Carroll. So that's 5 more points that he'll have on the night. So now he'll probably go back into the pits, come back out in the back. Just got to work his way back to the front. Glad to see his wife Kim's doing well. They had a little episode the other day. Had to take her to the emergency room, but she's doing fine today.
Yep. Just going through the cars here. The LSR rocking the classic Flintstones. He's either in the Flintstones or does he roll Coors as well?
He has a Coors Light car for this one, yeah.
Yeah. So he's rocking the Flintstones there.
And I think, I'm not sure if it was in this one or if it was in the R15, but he has a Quaker State car.
Ah.
And the good note to see, Brian Lovell on the track.
Oh, cool. Oh, right. Okay, so I wonder if... And they did. They gave him his laps back.
So what they'll do here...
all but 2.
If you have a disconnect, or in the case that he had, for whatever reason, at the beginning of the start of the race, he couldn't not get in, probably had to go out and do a reboot, maybe reboot the modem. He came back in, so they will get him up to pretty close to being 1 lap down, possibly 2, because of just the way the scenario came out. So
well,
caution comes out, he's going to be the lucky dog. He'll be
it looks like he's in lucky dog position right now. So he's currently 2 laps down, and he'll get to do a drive around here. So they've got him set up to be 1 lap down. So yeah, because of the mechanical issue, we call it a mechanical issue on his actual physical side of it. Maybe having an internet outage or an issue with the game. Was able to be in the race when they were gridding up, but because he didn't actually get on the track, you can always get on the track. Unfortunately, when the race is going, you're 20 laps behind. But they did give him all but 1 lap back, so that's cool, and that does qualify. They're not going to put you on the lead lap, but they will let you get back out there.
Alton Sullins in the chat, he's rooting for 38 of Rodney Sullins. Just to get him there in the points. 1 race behind, but he's still doing all right. Pace car lights are off. Rodney Sullins is the control car. Chuck LaCour on his outside. Brian Chillen, Denny Carroll, Bob the Biscuit Seminara, Ken Robert, Mark Paglia, and Randy Waugh, RJ Cabana, and Doug Hillick for top 10.
Rodney on the point.
So far, led the most laps tonight at 9. Still got a ways to go. We have almost reached the halfway point. We still got about 11 laps to go before we get to that.
Yeah, a little bit behind schedule today with the server glitching that we had this evening. Figured it eventually, but some weird stuff's going on. But cars are on the track and everything's working fine.
Yep. On your end. Mine's still working.
Yeah, you've got some weird stuff going on. It's a good thing my stuff's okay, because at least I can still display the yellow flags and stuff like that. The flag states are proper.
As long as I'm live, I can see them, I can holler about them, we're good to go.
Yep. I'd be choosing to stay on the bottom. They would have to choose before they came in. I think they choose on the back straightaway, right?
I think once the yellow lights go off, then they have the opportunity to choose where they want to be. So Rodney Sullins could go to the high side if he so choose to do so. Now, we know that Rodney's further down in the points. We know Chuck McClure is up there in the points. Sometimes we see these guys work together. I don't know if they will today. A couple of RTG guys, but we'll have to wait and see kind of what they decide to do. Sometimes, the bottom line won't quite go as fast, or the top side won't go as fast, and they'll allow the other one in front of each other.
I mean, he's in good company on both lines. I mean, what do you do, right? You got Schilling behind you. You got Chuck there, Denny, Seminara, Roberts, Randy, Paglia, Hewlett.
Schilling all low that rear bumper Rodney Sullins. They had about the same start, difference being that Schilling was right there pushing Rodney Sullins. Denny Carroll didn't get into the back bumper, and there we go. See, Sullins go to the high side. Now you say, why would he do that? That bottom line is moving a little bit more. It's going to probably get in front of him. Yeah, but then let's set that rubber band.
Not right now, it won't.
If that rubber band tightened up on that high side, man, it'll start rolling him right back in. As long as Brian doesn't get up there in front of him and can move out in front of him, then Rodney Sullins can think.
That's the thing. That'll work unless a third line that's stronger starts.
Yep.
It takes that. Drags them all in.
See that? We hit the line. Who's your leader?
Rodney Sullins.
He knows that, like I said, this track, the preferred line is that middle line. You will notice that Brian Schilling on the bottom, he got into the corner and came off from that corner ahead of Rodney Sullins. But now you watch down the backstretch. They get a better run off the corner and going down the backstretch. It just, plays into it. Of course, you've got Chuck McClure pushing him down there. Denny Carroll is pushing Chuck McClure. And, that helps, too. They got to keep those cars nice and tight. Even on the bottom, they you got to keep it tight. You can see the way the top 4 or 5 cars are on that high side. They're just staying right in a good line. Obviously, you're not seeing Ken Roberts push on to Denny Carroll because he doesn't need to. Just the 3 guys in the front got to be the ones that are doing that little bit of a push. The guys behind, the guys in front of them are breaking the air for them. They can just kind of cruise right behind them.
Is tire wear much of an issue when you're on the bottom lane like that? I find it's not too bad.
No, I would think it'd probably be a little bit more on the right front.
Right.
But not enough to where I really honestly believe you could probably run this whole race on a set of tires. As long as, you don't get them sideways and whatnot, I think you'd still have decent tires by the end of it. I would imagine, though, no, got 2 around. I saw Robert Breedlove and Dave Little round racing back to the line.
Man, I hope nobody was on pit road getting service.
Oh, that was close for a second. 0.0, a 0.06 for both drivers.
We're still green, by the way.
Oh, are we? Oh,
yep.
They did?
Because they spun out into the pits.
Okay.
They're not impeding race progress. They leave it green.
Let's get straight to the admins. Do not control the yellows when they come out. Do you believe they can control when they wanted to shorten it up? I think they have that ability.
I think they can control. Oh, Robert Breedlove being shown a black flag right now, probably for speeding.
Speeding on pit road.
It's going to be either unsafe entry or speeding.
Yeah.
So we can go back now and actually take a look at that.
And it's too bad that in the code they didn't, adjust for that. But, it's older game. But that happens every once in a while. Someone gets sent down pit road, and you can't stop. There's, especially when he was going sideways at the speed he was.
We'll take a look at it here now from Breedlove's point of view. Oh, yeah. Both those. Yeah, that's a speeding penalty because he's doing 160 miles an hour.
As long as he had his foot on the brake, he'd be all right.
Yeah, maybe. And then he's on the grass, too. So it's an unsafe entrance and unsafe exit. I wonder if they'll clear it. It looks like it has been cleared, actually.
Yeah, it's a possibility just because of that. The way that happened.
They'll waive that. He lost enough time just by getting shot at a line like that. Car's not even damaged. I mean, he might need tires, but that'd be about it. Didn't hit anything.
I don't think he hurt him too bad. It wasn't too long of a slide on the asphalt. And then once you get in the grass, it'll pull him right down, so he should be all set. It's just going to be a ways back as he just passes Mike Vangellardi, the injured number 029 Ford Dark Horse Mustang.
And Dave Little, Dave Little retired from that spin out. Let's go back again, see if we can find exactly what happened. I mean, we know what happened. I just didn't focus on Dave, so we'll get a look at the 83 here.
We don't know. We knew that there was some guys I think Mike Rush was one of them that was a one and done, I guess, kind of thing. Basically, what that means is he had a situation where, the admins felt that, he didn't do something the right way. So he's like a one in park. What it basically means is, as Brian Wolf was talking about earlier, their penalty system, you get penalized. So you go out there and you cause an incident, you're done for the race. So
Yeah, Little didn't hit anything. He went into the infield and just retired from the grass. Our Breedlove is still going, so about 35 seconds off pace, obviously, but no damage. You're just waiting for a yellow. That's why I'm curious why Little decided to quit, but
unless he felt as though it was his fault.
Yeah, I mean, stuff happens. So he's going for a bump, and then the game shoots him the way that weird stuff happens.
Just looking now that they're 3 wide, you're going to see that middle lane that was pretty much dominant a minute ago. They're kind of start dragging back a little bit. Notice that I do have the 07, so we'll have to after the race, and I'll get that car sent to you.
Okay, yeah, because I've downloaded the MediaFire package. Maybe Cy went with a paint scheme from a different league, and I had almost 2,000 car files in my Mank Cup 19 folder. So to speed up the loading of the game, I sorted by date and got rid of everything that was older than 2 years. So if he might be running one. I didn't get rid of them. I moved them into another folder. Inside the car folder, I make another folder called Overflow, and then I just dump them in there. And I was going to go look, and I probably have it. It's probably in there, but it probably got caught in the purge.
Well, like I said before, going from to 719 all the way down to the 31 takes me about a minute and a half.
Yeah,
so
that's another reason I get rid of them. I sort by date and move them into a different folder. Currently focused there on Denny Carroll, sitting in the third. Now he's in seventh. After that early incident, car seems fine. So that's our points leader.
He's trying to make sure that he doesn't let that 17 of Chuck McClure get too far away.
Because, that's the guy. The 37-point gap is between the 41 and the 17, which you can just see on the edge of your screen there.
Other two drivers, Greg Lovell and Mike Mangialardi, come into tonight tied for third.
Yeah.
46 points back. Both of them drivers having a really bad night. So that's not, putting a nail in the coffin of it for everybody, but that's, kind of opening the door up as it stands right now, should the race end now, to putting, Denny Carroll and Chuck McClure in a much better seat, racing each other for that championship. Start day running past Robert Breedlove. His car should be good enough. Once they get past him, he should be able to tuck right in behind them guys. We didn't see any damage on that car. He should be able to stay right with them.
Yeah, not damage, just falling back because no air back there.
Now that he's managed to get tucked down behind Billy Elliser, he should.
Yellow flag is up. So that's a good timing for Breedlove, because now he's going to be able to stay. But he is unfortunately a lap down, but he's a couple laps down. No, he's 1 lap down. So he'll be the lucky dog, him and Mike. Mike's damaged.
Will both be the lucky dogs. Mangialardi's damaged, but you think about it this way. He went 1 lap down. He doesn't have the speed. Now, this is going to put him back on that lead lap. So that is going to be a help,
Right. Looking for the moment of caution here.
Looking, and the 44 is 10 laps down. So not sure. They may not have given him any of his laps back. I guess, he's not run the whole race, possibly.
Mike Brush in the 53. Oh, something happened. He lost a lot of speed. Got rear-ended by Cody Lamas. That was weird. I'm going to go in the cockpit there and see if we can't see something.
To see his sense.
Yeah, losing power. That was weird. Yeah, it just started losing power. The RPM dipped. What could the cause of that be? We're not in a fuel window.
Unless the engine broke. There's
Maybe.
no smoke.
No smoke, but...
Well, there again, too. We've seen already Greg Lovell have an issue with his wheel. You know what I mean? His wheel all of a sudden unhooked and just turned him right into the wall. You know, potential possibility that his, the potentiometer on his wheel just dropped off. And, he doesn't have any pace. Because even after that, I don't see him driving off. So it's a potential either something happened, motor related, or something happened with his wheel to the point where he could not go.
Yeah, pedals could have come unplugged, things of that nature.
Depending on what you have for a wheel, that does happen.
It looks like he has retired due to an accident. It's unfortunate for Mike.
We do know he was one of the one in park, so even...
Yeah, but that's not parking. I mean, he did park, but he didn't have to park. Car lost power, so...
I wonder if he was able to even drive off with it. Getting down, we're just past the halfway point. Do some math here.
Remember, just reminding everybody about tomorrow's event for Hawk over at SMO. Passed away a while ago, and every year they hold a race for him, and it is at Michigan. So if you want to race over there, well, you know the game we're staring at. I cannot remember what mod they're using. Either way, SMO tomorrow night, Michigan, at the annual Hawk Memorial event.
They were running for the Sunday night series was trucks with cup physics, but for the special, not sure what they're doing.
Yeah, SMO's always got something so wacky up their sleeve. Everybody runs cars. Like tonight, we're running truck physics because it's just way more fun.
That's the better
on a Superspeedway, and you get the full RPM. There's no restrictor plate, but they're a little bit slower. But the drafting is crazy good. So then SMO takes it and goes, yeah, well, we're not going to run truck physics in the cars. We're going to run car physics in the trucks. So yeah, I thought that was hilarious. It's great. So anyway, tomorrow show up for 9 o'clock, and it's all going to be there, and we will be broadcasting it live too. So if you can't race, you can always watch it.
Sean Turner stayed out. He led that lap. Garland Oaks, I think, might have tried to stay out to lead a lap. I'm not sure.
Sean Turner just came out of the pits, and he's in 26th.
I pulled. Brian didn't remind me. I got to be live. I went back and looked at that episode.
I was actually following Turner from first, but yeah, he did pit.
There goes Mangialardi. He has pitted. He is working his way up to the front. So him and Robert Breedlove there. As soon as the lights go out on the pace car, they are allowed to go by it.
Yeah, you can see those guys disobeying the rules right now. So, of course, NASCAR will give them a black flag for passing the pace car. But the league will clear those flags because they do two lucky dogs. If you don't know what the lucky dog is, you are a lap down, and the yellow comes out. Hey, you're lucky. You get your lap back. Go for a drive.
Yep. You're the first and second car that is one or more laps down. You will get one of those laps back. The other option people do have, if they're not a lucky dog or something like that, is if they do not pit, they can, and the leaders do, they come out behind the pace car but in front of the leader, and they call that a wave around, and it's basically the same thing. The drivers will be up there waiting. As soon as the lucky dog cars go by, they are allowed to pass the pace car or follow them all the way back down to the back of the pack and along this line. They also will get a black flag, and that will be cleared by the admin.
And that can get pretty cool sometimes, because sometimes the waiver on pocket is pretty deep.
Yep.
And you end up getting, 8 or 9 cars in there, and they all opt for a wave around and late in the race. Like, think, oh man, what's the fuel strategy going to be? And we've seen some cool gambles.
Yep.
Get their lap back, and then people start running out of fuel, and it's like you jump from 15th to second place. It's pretty awesome sometimes.
It's, it all really depends on how deep you're into it. To do the wave around. If you're laps away from where you had to pit anyways on fuel, it's not a wise choice. There's usually not too many cautions that happen at these tracks, per se, like, something that you'd have at Bristol or anything like that. But, at Bristol, it's just much shorter. You make up a little bit more time. But, sometimes it's worthwhile. You get lucky, a caution comes out, you get yourself, back on the lead lap, and you can go in and get fresh tires and fuel. So that, that's not going to be the greatest thing for me in Talladega because his car's not up to speed, but at least he's back on the lead lap.
And that's the thing. If the thing doesn't blow up, keep driving it. Because like we were mentioning, I mentioned how he hopes to leapfrog some people. So like he's not going to be competitive and be able to pass because he can't stay in the pack. But Matt Becker has retired.
Yep.
Ryan Lovell's 13 laps down. David Little has retired. Mike Brush has retired. So now Mike has now taken those places.
Yep.
If he retired when he got in that accident, he wouldn't have those 4 or 5 spots.
Nope.
So he's getting a crazy amount of points right now just by leapfrogging people who are retiring.
Pace car makes the trip down pit road. Rodney Sullivan's still the control car for the night. Bob the Biscuit Seminary on the high side. Is that John Godfrey in third? That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
John Godfrey running third. Ken Roberts fourth. Pepper Ford fifth. Sixth is Brian Schillen. Seventh is Doug Hewlett. Eighth is Kelly Pazzi. Say it right.
Yep, you got it.
Good start in the front row, but nobody to push either one of them.
Nope.
Second row didn't really get a good push, but McClure was right into John Godfrey. Got him a really good push. He is going to get to Rodney Sullivan's rear bumper way before Ken Roberts is going to get to Bob the Biscuit Seminara. So
I say it every time. I love that Seminara paint job, taking the 7-Eleven logo and just saying 712.
Yeah. I
cool.
followed him Thursday night and chuckled with that.
Yeah. And I mean, John Godfrey literally could run the 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is running the 7-Eleven, but could run that same exact car, but just run the real logo. And we would get so confused. So thanks, John, for having a red car.
Yeah. What was it? I can't remember what league we did. They had teams. And so
it's Maverick, because the South American guys, they all run, like, I think it's Fast Lane Racing, and they all have like black and neon green cars. Now they're inverted.
Yes.
But you can only invert once. So when there's like 4 people, you got black, green, black, green, black, green.
It might have been on Sunday, ASR, when we did the Aero 88 series. We had the Wolf Pack or something like that. They all drove Chevy Monte Carlo SSs.
Yes.
All painted exactly the same way. 3 or 4 of them. They all had the same number font. They just had different numbers. I mean,
that was literally you paint one car scheme, and then you copy and paste it and just change the digits.
Yeah. So if you look like right there on your broadcast, they're going down the backstretch or anywhere around there. Imagine every single one of these cars being painted the exact same color when they're coming at you like that. We can't tell the difference if they were all the same.
It would have been nice if they, even on the roof number, just put,
yellow,
like
orange,
crazy vibrant color. One guy's red, one guy's lime green, one guy's black, and one guy's, blue. And then we could tell that way. But yeah, it was legitimately hilarious.
Yep, Bob the Biscuit Seminara making that inside line work. Rodney Sullivan did not get a great run in there. I just saw a little while back there Tim Noster trying to get the third groove going, but that didn't work out for him. tucked back in behind that other group, waiting to see what happens. Now you see Randy Waugh and Denny Carroll. We're accustomed to seeing these two guys get together. When they do, they work very, very well together. They move from the high side to the bottom side. Denny Carroll's pushing Randy Waugh to try to see if he can't get him up there to the front.
It's working.
Rodney Sullins is starting to come up there, and he's going to help them out. You get John Godfrey, RJ Cabana, and Javier Negron, and Hillock up there, and that'll help them even more. That's not Hillock, sorry. That was Billy Elliser back there. Hillock is on the high side.
Yeah, Hillock's right there behind Causey. You talk about cars looking the same. We go back to Jeffrey Elliott and the mega team events they used to have. I would paint up the teams of like 5 and 6 cars, and it was that easy. All I had to do was design a theme, like design a paint scheme, work with Jeff, and like, can you change this? Can you change that? Can you get this in there? Perfect, let's do it. And then lock that down, and then just change the numbers. And team races were great, but man, what a points nightmare. I don't even know how they kept track of all that stuff.
And my team was the Red Hellcats, and it was 20, 21, 22, 23, right. 24. So it was like, they looked all the same. As you got down kind of an angle on them, they all look the same.
Yeah, and that was a decision we made, though, with the numbers, because in a team race, you've got 4 teammates. You're not going to race. You can't keep your usual number. So since nobody's going to be in their normal car, what can we do to make it easy when you're looking at the relative? When you push F2, you can see who is where. Oh, I can't remember who's on my team, but if you were 71, 72, 73, 74, anybody who was in the 70s was on your team. It was like Team 70, Team 500, Team 90. So you always had, it was easier for the fans watching too live on the broadcast to know by looking at the ticker who's on what team. So it was neat. Like if you had, 333, 339, 344, well, that's the 300 team. Those guys are teammates, because there was no way we could color code it on the ticker. But that was a lot of fun too. Like a lot of very unique races over there.
Yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of the way they did the teamwork stuff. Rodney Sullins currently sitting back there around the 9th spot, has the most laps led at 21. Bob Seminara has led, it's going to be 9 this time by. If he can lead the rest of the way,
he's working on it.
He can be thrown, Rodney Sullins, off from that. And I do know that Seminara has not been here the full season.
But can still affect it, right? Like that's the thing. If he can take those points away from Rodney, maybe he's able to get a 22nd lap lead and take that away,
Seminara has only been here for the last 2 races. Has worked his way up to 32nd in points, but obviously he's got no stake in the points championship, but he's just here to win. I mean, that's all he wants to do.
And the league will encourage that too. Like if you come into a league and you're like only able to race a couple of races in a season, like when you're here, try to win. They don't want you to get out of the way. Like if you can win, go for it, because then you affect the point standings, right? Like if you're on the track, you're here for a reason. Let's go. 202 miles an hour on Doug Hewlick there coming down the back straightaway. Moves to the outside in front of Rodney Sullins.
Doug Hewlick out there, because Seminara had that inside line going. To me, the very inside line is very, very hard to get to work. I don't know how these guys do it. They got that high side running. Now just look at Bob the Biscuit Seminara, possibly even Ken Roberts. They get up a little bit further. You might see Shillings get up there. They may pull up there in front of that line if that momentum is really, really coming. Right now, they only got 3 cars that are really running nice and tight. It's not really enough for the way Roberts is working on the back bumper of Seminara. Tim Noster and Paglia and Robert Spring, they're up on that high side as well, but they're about 6 car lengths back. They need, get that draft to get up there and start working on the back bumper of Chuck McClure. Now, they don't necessarily have to push them. Really, like I said, the first 3 cars kind of the ones that do the pushing, and the rest of them are just kind of the train using that momentum that they're breaking all the air and using that to keep them going fast. Nate Balzer back there in the fifth spot currently. Haven't really talked much about Nate. Hasn't been not running in the back. He's just been kind of running kind of mid-field towards the front a little bit, and this thing is getting down to 16 laps to go, and that's where he's starting to show up. He's starting working his way to the front. We do know Balzer, Randy Waugh, and Danny Carroll, as well as Doug. I think Helick is one of the guys that they work with. I know Team Wrecking Ball also work together, but I know Balzer, like I said, Randy Waugh and Denny Carroll will get together and work together. As Denny Carroll sees that momentum coming from the inside, him and Balzer, Randy Waugh all move down to that low line just in front of John Godfrey, see if they can make that one work.
Cars who have led a lap tonight: Sean Turner, Brian Wolf, R.J. Cabana, Tim Anderson, Robert Spring, John Godfrey, Randy Waugh, Brian Schilling, Bob Seminara, and of course 21 of those are led by Rodney Sullins. Currently holds the most laps led anyway, for now.
Danny Carroll has yet to lead a lap tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We know, has McClure led one? No?
McClure, no.
No, he has not led one in as well. Creeping up, getting closer and closer to 10 to go. As a time, you're going to start seeing the people like, we talked about Nate Balzer. I haven't really seen much of him all night. Has not led a lap yet tonight. And, getting down good. Now he's starting to work his way towards the top.
Engine compartment cam here on Denny Carroll. Looks to be running fine. Put it on the back right here.
You have way too much fun with that.
I do. You got to use FreeCam 231 because after they updated it clips way more. By clipping, what I mean is when you get too close to stuff, it disappears. It's a way farther clip on the newer ones, which I go back to 231 every time because I can get right inside the engine compartment and actually see the engine. Can't do that with the newer ones. Everything disappears. Carroll, our points leader, you can see him there running in 5th position. Was 6th last lap by. Again, man, he's just been up there in the top 10 all the live long day.
Has not been able to get out to the front, that's all. But he doesn't have to really go out there and lead or win. Does he want it? Oh, absolutely. We know Denny Carroll hates not to win. But with this race, 2 more after this, he's just got to get himself positioned in the right spot and obviously try to stay ahead of Chuck McClure.
Checking around the field here. Rick Becker, Sean Turner, and Greg Lovell back there, 25th, 6th, and 7th. It's kind of going around the field here. There's Tim Anderson, Billy Elliser, and Cyber Jones. I will get that car file sorted out. Rod will give me all his 07s.
And Garland Oates just went a lap down. I think he was involved in one of the earlier wrecks. Unfortunate for him.
Mm-hmm.
To see if when they go by,
67.
Behind him, and he can stay, You got what? Billy Elliser, Tim Anderson back there, all running by themselves. Not sure what happened with them guys, but we haven't had any green flag pit stops yet. Should be getting close to the point where we should be seeing them sometime here along.
Yeah, they definitely cannot go the distance. We will need one more pit stop. Which reminds me, I should get pit entrance cam set up properly here. So, because this is always an exciting camera angle to use. With my super zoom, get my zoom cranked up here.
Brian Schilling was able to get that outside line rocking and rolling, taking the lead away from Bob the Biscuit Seminara. So,
yeah,
this is the hard part. You, Danny Carroll, you want to get up to the front, and you've been committed to the bottom.
Good call.
Here we go. Yep.
Great call. You can smell it. Clean by the 6 that are coming in here. It looks like Godfrey, Sullins, McClure, Novsker, Paglia, and the Biscuit. As the rest of the pack heads to the back straightaway here.
Should see some more this time by. Queuing it up, it looks like Sean Turner, Cyber, Buckshot, that's Kelly Causey.
Yep.
But Doug Hewlick, T. Brandstetter. So we should see a few of them guys come down. Woo!
Oh my.
Was close. Brianna Grahn, a little bit of a break walk up there, but I was able to make it, save it, keep it straight.
Clean.
But yeah, very nice, very clean.
This is the money stop, as they say now. You cannot make a mistake. This is the final stop. And this pack here needs to do their thing.
So Randy Waugh was able to lead that lap. Pretty sure we'll see these guys probably pit next time by. We'll see.
There's your main pack there.
They're going to go a little bit longer. Robert Breedlove pulls down in to go to pits. Anderson's coming in, he's a little bit further behind.
Bob Seminara was the race leader. They are coming back around to catch this pack, and they will definitely have the speed.
I do believe these guys have got it, so they're probably what they were trying to do. It looks like Randy Waugh's pinning this time, Mark.
Yeah, they're probably going in there now. Oh,
yeah.
Maybe not. Oh, right, yeah. I'm looking at the wrong pack here. I'm riding on the Seminara. So
Denny
now
Cross,
we are back.
RJ Cabana should be. Yep. Here we go. Then the last of the front-running cars that are pitting. Cyber, unfortunately, almost got run over with everybody coming in around him.
Oh, Rick Becker.
Interesting to see if there's any tires. I don't believe we'll see tires. Should just be a fuel only. Maybe
Most of these guys, yeah.
RJ Cabana left. Randy Waugh's going to be the first one off. Bobby Farrell right behind him. Looks like RJ Cabana's going to beat Bobby Farrell. Danny Carroll's going to come off in the 4th spot
Lead
out
pack.
of that group.
Lead pack coming over the line right now, so these guys will get left behind.
Fairly good chance. That's just a product of guys getting in, getting out, getting together, getting formed up really, really quick, and get rocking and rolling. These guys might not be too bad off. They may still be able to, catch up. Like Doug Gillett right out in front of Randy Waugh, try to help him out a little bit. They might still be able to. We're gonna be, oh gosh, here we are, about 6 laps to go.
6 at the line, yep. 6 1/4.
And just these guys up front, they're running 3 wide.
So what's
to help the second group catch up?
What would the fuel strategy have been on that final stop? Are they taking a 1 can?
What did Denny tell me? I think he said a splash was 3 laps, half a can. I think it was 5 or 6 laps.
So they needed a full can then.
Yeah, they may have.
Because this lead pack hasn't been juggled too much, so I don't believe anybody was crazy enough to try to do a half can. Because then you're so far ahead of everybody too.
Yeah.
You get out a second earlier than everybody else, you're just going to get railroaded. So if they all took the same amount.
Yeah. If you had enough of them, of people to do it and get in, that that you're going to be able to get in and out of there quick. So these guys running up here, Bob the Biscuit Seminar comes from the middle line down in front of the ESC Sandoval. Javier on the ground and Doug Hewlick, they were kind of making a move on the inside, so he went down to block that. It kind of looks like Randy Waugh and Denny Carroll are going to catch up to these guys. They got Bobby Farrell with them. So them 3 guys were, Bobby Farrell, RJ Cabana, Yep, Randy Watt and Denny Carroll all lined up, and he's starting to run these guys down. Where they're up there running 3 wide, they're just opening up the window even more for them. So they're just barely got to the back. Whoa! Marilyn Oaks.
Yeah.
4 wide off that corner. Marilyn Oaks up to the wall. He couldn't go no higher for him.
That was it. He had all that he was using. He's like, sorry guys, you're gonna have to figure it out. It's just as far as I can go. I've crossed the white line, and the next thing's a concrete wall.
4 laps to go here. So far, right now, Mark Paglia, Thursday's winner, out front. Chuck McClure, Brian Schilling behind him, and Kelly Kazi behind him. And the inside line there, Bob the Biscuit Seminaire, Javier Negron, Bob. Doug
Ulysses swashed up a little bit and pushed Kazi out of line. Oh no!
That's gonna hurt that high line.
Kazi going to be able to tuck back in here eventually. Nobody's picking him up. And Cyber's a lap down, so Cyber let him in. Mark Paglia, currently your race leader.
3 to go.
And Mark Paglia on Thursday at the Talladega Challenge ran out of gas at the stripe. McClure ran out of gas in the 4th turn. Coming into the tri-oval, and here Paglia is again at the front of this race, with McClure behind him again.
And
mind you, it was switched before. McClure was in front, but
yeah, you got Denny Carroll back around about I can actually give you the exact place, around 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Just can't seem to get in a line that's actually going forward. Every time he makes a move, that line just kind of stalls out.
And we can see him right there. He's not far out because we are running 2x2. So that, when we're side by side like this, 13th sounds far away, but it's not.
No.
But it's just, like you said, finding the hole. Got to get in there. Got to get in there and get up there. And right now, nothing's moving.
He was 11th at the line, half a second behind. It's not that far behind. He's right there with them. Just needs to be able to go, get himself further forward up there to catch Chuck McClure.
Paglia, McClure, now Paglia driving out that rearview mirror.
He's no longer driving out the front.
No, and he's the one to beat. So if anybody's making a move, it's happening behind him, and he's going to have to try to make the right move.
2 to go. If you're Chuck McClure, do you try to go for the win, or do you say, second's going to be, I've led a lap. Denny Carroll has not led a lap. That's 5 bonus points toward, further towards it. Then he's back there in about 11th spot. He's up there in second.
Sullivan's at the bottom.
That might be enough for him to take over the points lead.
Sullins, Waugh. Carroll gets a bump from Cabana. Ken Roberts to the inside. White flag in the air.
That's going to kill the momentum of that high side if that other group can get up there. But McClure is pushing Paglia every chance he can get. Then
for now.
Brian Sullivan just pushing him from the backside.
For now.
They got to get tight.
If they're going to make a move, it's coming. In less than 30 seconds. It has to happen if they want to get around them. Brian Schilling, Nofsker.
Inside line's not got enough momentum to where them guys back there are going to want to pull down in front of it because they're definitely not going to go forward. Randy Waugh makes the move to in front of him. Ken Roberts goes to the high side.
Oh, Paglia making himself. He's going to stick with him.
Yep.
Mark Paglia. McClure and Schilling. Wow.
What a good finish.
Fantastic race. Fantastic race. And they are wrecking into the stratosphere. Oh no.
Familiar territory to Mark Paglia after a race.
Yeah. At least this time he's got enough gas to do a burnout.
Right.
The car was untouched until that little victory celebration demolition derby.
Tim Noster, and saying hello to him. Congratulations. They all like to do that. Sometimes they get a little overzealous on it, but
what a great race. Only 3 yellows. That fourth one doesn't count. 3 yellow flags tonight. 12 laps under yellow. With a very unique window on that final pit stop, which is always cool to see, what the strategy was going to be on fuel. We'll find out all that stuff when we talk to the podium after we get to watch Mark do the burn down. He won on Thursday and did not get to burn it down because everybody was running out of fuel in the last lap, and he ran out of fuel right about here. So he's the one who won the fuel battle.
Core ran out on the exit of 3, and he ran out just basically at the line. I think it might have been just before the line we saw Greg Bubble give him a little shot there at the line and then try to move out around him. I think if Bubble had tried to make that move a little bit earlier, probably would have had the car to beat him. But, Mark didn't show any signs that he was low on fuel, and when it happened, everything kind of just went in different ways for him. But hey, I don't think Greg was complaining too much there with the second place.
No.
I don't know, I just looked over the broadcast. He still has sticker tires on.
Yes. Yes, he does.
He went by there. There's still stickers on the front tires.
He had to do 2 separate burnouts because he wasn't able to make it work.
Well, we'll buy that one for $1, I guess. All right. I got to find...
And I got to save stuff. Have fun.
Save it. Oh, there he is. Oh, Brian Schilling, you got Rod Blaine in the booth. Do you have a copy, buddy?
Yeah, what's going on?
Remember,
Say that, or should I say the number 4, Brian? No, wait a minute. You're not in the 4 tonight. You're in 62.
Yeah, 4 is reserved over here, so I went with the other Harvick number.
Yeah. I was going to say who's in the 4, but it's ASR HUD. But yeah, so you led 4 laps over the night. Not a bad. You ran pretty much up there all night long. Just kind of stayed within the top 10, worked up, worked back. I don't know. See, got to figure out where you are in points. I don't think you've run every race over here this season, have you?
No, I'm just part-time schedule.
Appreciate your.
So you've only run this is only your 3rd race over here. Come on. So you're just here to try to go for the wins. Did you guys kind of have a deal where you're going to stay together there, or were you just hoping that inside line would kind of make a little bit more of an advance, and then you would be able to jump out in front of that and get past Paglia?
I work with those guys, on Thursdays. We all work well together. So, if the right opportunity presented itself and things got all scattered, I definitely would have thought about making a move, but there just wasn't anything back behind us. We were pushing so hard and we're so close that nothing really developed anyways.
Yeah, I could see, the inside line tried, the outside line tried. Nobody could really seem to get anything going, to make a run at you. They were trying. Don't get me wrong. They were really, really trying. They just couldn't seem to do anything to be able to, catch up with you guys enough to where, they were going to make a charge towards that, taking the win away.
Yeah, definitely. When you get, 3 or 4 guys that are real close and real comfortable, it is so hard for any line to get any momentum when you guys, when you have that kind of drafting.
Yeah. So, and then I don't know how did you fare out Thursday? I forget how that went.
I got caught up in the mess in 3. I finished 13th unofficially, so not a bad points night, but obviously I would have liked being further up.
Yeah, I got caught up in that stuff too. I would have loved to have been a little bit further up, but I didn't make it through that last accident. But that was pretty good though. You gonna try to run the next 2 races, or kind of a play it by ear kind of thing?
More or less play it by ear. If I got nothing going on, yes, but it's always a mystery.
Always a mystery. Wayne, do you have a question?
The mysterious Brian Schilling. I was curious, the fuel strategy at that point in the race, we were kind of wondering. You guys probably took a can. I was just kind of...
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been a question to try to just conserve because you would have been like 3 laps out, right?
Yeah. I mean, you could have gotten... If I would have went and topped off on the last yellow, it could have gotten to a half a can, but... Problem is then if you don't have anybody else on that, you don't have anybody with that strategy, they're just going to freight train you anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we're kind of talking about. Like, oh, is it there's no way it's a half can, it's not enough gas. And if it had been, like you said, oh, we get that extra second, and now you're just getting railroaded.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Don't get me wrong, I love trying to fuel strategy people, but not every time is the right time.
Right, too much of a gap at this one. Because I mean, on Thursday it was crazy. Everybody had it locked onto that last lap, and guys were dropping like flies, and that was exciting. But and again, another fantastic race. I mean, you guys spoil us rotten here at Talladega Superspeedway, man. Especially this RTG version 4.
Oh yeah. John Godfrey did a great job widening pit road. I joked around with him; it still wasn't wide enough for how we come out. But John's done some great work with this track. He's tweaked some other tracks here recently, and I can't say enough for the job he does with this.
Yeah, we try to mention him. We don't mention him enough because being able to use that old software sandbox to be able to modify stuff and create new stuff is so cool for the community. Keeps this thing going.
Oh yeah, for sure. He tweaked a Nashville track that we had been running, and he literally turned it into how they raced at Nashville, like in the Cup Series. I mean, just unbelievable. So can't give him enough credit.
So, yeah, I go back, Brian, to the saying I always say, do you know why they put grass in the infield of racetracks? And that's because if it was asphalt, we would try to use it. We'll never get a driver say you got enough. So,
for sure.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on your 3rd place finish. Great run tonight. We'll give you the opportunity to thank anybody you would like to for whatever reason. The floor is yours.
All right. Well, thank you for all the sponsors putting this on. Ken, all the admins here. Thank you guys for doing the broadcast. And congratulations, Mark. Job well done. 2 Thursday and a Saturday win. It feels good. When you can hit 2 in a row. So, just thank you, everyone.
All right. Well, there you go. Our 3rd place finisher tonight. And I'm looking forward to racing with you, hopefully, Thursday if I make it in. So, good job, bud.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Somebody moved him on me. Chuck McClure.
Trying to help.
You good? Got a copy, Chuck.
I got you guys. How you doing?
Not bad. So, hanging out there at the end of this. You ran, up front most of the night. Didn't get the opportunity to lead a lap tonight, but the good news is neither did Denny Carroll. You show up here tonight, 37 points behind Denny Carroll. You finish second. He finishes, I think, in the 9th position.
10th.
10th.
Or, you're right. Sorry, I'm looking at Kelly. Yep. Nope. Denny Carroll, 9th place. Yep. And
neither one of you led a lap. So, gonna go into the last 2 races next week. Gonna be pretty close and tied for points there.
Yeah, that's a lot to make up. He's pretty consistent. He's really good, but I'll try.
This from the guy that's won the last 2 Thursday night RTG Talent Series, titles, and I don't know if I can do it.
Well, I mean, I thought I could get away from him a couple times. He's running 14th, 18th. I'm running 2nd, and here he comes. So, he's going to need some bad luck. What's there, 1 more race left?
2 more.
2.
Oh, well, no problem. I got him.
There's the
just did some math. Oh, no problem.
Yeah, no problem. 2 weeks. Oh, we got this. Got this in the bag. You do quite a lot of super speedway racing. So, and every time I see you, you're always running up near the front. Unless you get caught up in something. And so, I mean, great run tonight. I don't know. Not really sure what to ask him. And other than I guess I'll let Blaine ask because I know he's going to ask you about fuel.
Yeah, man, because that's two races in a row you finished with Mark in front of you. Because that race on Thursday was wild. Everybody had that thing down to that final lap, and you're running out in turn like 4-ish. And tonight, at least, it wasn't a gas mileage race, but Mark in front of you again.
Well, he's a teammate of ours. We try to work together a lot. He's a great teammate, and he doesn't really get the credit due or the wins. And we get him to him when we can. But Thursday night, that was just a stupid rookie mistake on my part. I knew it was going to run out. I hoped for a caution and didn't get it. Tried to get out of the way, and I caused a lot of mess.
Yeah, well, that was an exciting race, though. I mean, that's racing. That's the great thing about this thing being the simulator that it is. No two races are exactly the same.
Right, and I think that's what brings us all back. But tonight was pretty exciting, too.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, for different reasons. Again, no two races are exactly the same. I mean, Thursday, yeah, sure, it was a mess, but man, it was awesome.
I know you say
Paglia, it's a mess for some people, not for other people.
You talk about Paglia being, one of your teammates and stuff, but if that inside line had made the move and got up there, you probably, or would you have probably dropped down and to get in front of that momentum and hopefully to try to take the win away from Paglia.
Well, if there was a lot of them, I would have. I saw what was coming. I knew the guy didn't have much help. We just decided to stay with Mark. He deserves the win. Congratulations to him. And Brian pushed us too. So, it worked out really well. Tim finished 4th too, I believe.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
He didn't lead a lap. He's not in the points over here as well either. So
I will tell you, I saw the 41 going for the lead one time, and I put extra hard on the guy I was behind so he wouldn't lead a lap.
But you're here to win. You're here to go for a championship. You got to do what you got to do. If that's the case, you got to give them guys a little extra push to keep them in front of them. You're going to do that.
Yeah, that's and if I wouldn't, I don't think anybody'd really want to work with me, Andy, or respect me. But yeah, it's all about helping somebody out when you can.
They put a bounty on him because it seemed like he was running away with this thing. I'd have to say you kind of come to the up to the call to try to take that bounty and get him. So you shot, like I said, I don't know what the points difference is going to be, but it's going to be a lot closer going in the next week.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that check to clear from last week. We'll see.
All right. Well, we'll give you a chance to thank anybody you want to, for getting you here or whatnot. So the floor is yours.
Well, first I want to thank Rodney for working with me all night, and my teammates Brian and Tim and Mark. Rodney for painting the car. It's my favorite thing to drive. Bryant Motorsports for a sponsor, and then the Parts Barn, and all the admins here, Ken and Brian. They do a great job, and of course, you guys. This is awesome. I love watching these things the next day or maybe tonight.
All right. Well, congratulations on your second place and, moving yourself up just that little bit closer to, nabbing another championship for you. So we're looking forward to seeing where you come out in the points next week and whether or not you can dethrone Denny Carroll.
Yeah, I was just try to keep him scared. That's all.
Keep him looking in that rearview mirror.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
All right. Congratulations, bud.
Thanks, Chuck. Mark Paglia on deck.
Mark Paglia, you got Rod and Blaine in the booth. They got a copy.
Hey, Rod, what's going on, young man?
Good run for you tonight. You ran up front pretty much the night long. You only led 7 laps, but probably 7 of the most important laps, I think kind of there at the end.
Yeah, especially the last one, huh? Yeah, I had a lot of great help, having Chuck McClure and Brian Schilling, Tim, and Randy Wall and Ken Roberts, they're all lined up behind me, pushing me. Though I had some really good help. You know, you don't win these things without help, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. You got to have the right people behind you, around you. Chuck was saying, he even saw that Denny Carroll might have had an opportunity to lead a lap. So he said, I pushed extra hard to make sure that he did not do that. So, but not here in the points that really too much. You got 2 more races. You're going to come back and see if you can't snag a couple more victories.
Absolutely. That's gonna be my goal. Winning a championship's way out of reach for me. But yeah, I want to try to do well in the last 2 races and just hopefully get geared up for a season 3. Season 2 has been pretty dismal for me. I don't even remember if I actually finished a race before tonight, because I usually get wadded up in some kind of wrecks. But I got lucky with some good teammates, good positioning on the track. After the last pit stall, we went in, only took a half can or 1 can and no tires, and that was enough to get us to the end, and that really I think got us up front, and was able to win it.
So just for the viewers out there that that probably don't follow racing as much, we'll say the last 5 laps of that race, how much of it's looking out the front of the windshield? How much is it looking in that rear view mirror?
I don't even know what was in front of me. So to answer your question, all of it was in the rear view. But yeah, the only time I was looking through the windshield to make sure I was following the right line, but everything else was looking backwards, looking for a run on either high side or low side.
And unfortunately, that never come. Like Chuck and Brian said, they were they were stuck behind you. I said, Chuck, were you going to go for it if it ever came? And he goes, I don't know. He said, but the line never fall, kind of the momentum on that bottom line never got there, or on the high side. He said, so we'll never know.
Yeah, it's always real risky. If you want to make a push and nobody goes with you, then you just get thrown all the way to the back. So they're good teammates. They helped me right through the very end. So if they went for it, I wouldn't have been upset. But luckily they stayed with me and got me to the end.
And that that kind of, you can't really say. I don't know if you raced last night at all, but that's 2 in a row for you. So you got to keep that momentum going, get back here next Thursday, and try to go for another one.
Yeah, I didn't do so hot last night. I got trapped in a bad wreck last night. But yeah, Thursday night was a big one. At RTG, and then come back again on tonight. ASR really feels good. And this Saturday night ASR league is really building up. I think we had 38 drivers, and that's right along the lines of what RTG gets on Thursdays.
So now what I got to do is we won't be broadcasting next week, so I'll be out there. I got to try to convince to get Mark Peggley behind me and push
there
me.
There goes my luck.
Push me to the wind,
Yep, there we go.
Blaine, do you have any questions for Mark?
Yeah, like what was the winning streak before these last 2 big races? Like you win 2 of these things so quick together. Like I know you race a lot at a lot of different places. Was there a slump in wins, or what was your record looking like before these last couple?
Oh yeah, it's been a real drought. It's been a long dry spell. At RTG, I've had 1 or 2 good races during the season, and they wouldn't be victories, but they'd be top 5 finishes, and everything else I just get caught up in something. Sometimes it was my own doing, sometimes it was not, but it's been a long time, and it really feels good. Then when you race with quality guys like we're racing on Thursday and Saturday nights, sometimes you doubt yourself that you really belong with these, with the Grant Westleys and the Chuck McClures and the Brian Schillings and, with Rodney and Ken Roberts, all those top flight guys. And you're thinking, well, do I really belong on the same track with these guys? But when you win a couple, it makes you feel a little better about it.
Absolutely. Congratulate you on your win, and we'll give you the chance to thank anybody you want to. So the floor is yours.
Well, I'm going to thank you and Blaine. You guys do a top-notch job The graphics that you guys put together is awesome. I mean, even during the race or during cautions, I got YouTube on next to me and I'm watching where Blaine, whoever is controlling the cameras. I said, oh my gosh, he's got it going on. He's doing a great job with this.
That's all Blaine.
That's all Blaine. Well, good job, Blaine.
Thank you,
sir. Yeah. And Brian Wolf, I want to thank him and Ken Roberts for putting this together on Saturday nights. It's getting to be one of the best places to race, and they put a lot of work and energy into it. And of course, I have to give a shout out to Chuck McClure and Brian Schilling and Tim Nasra. They are great teammates, and they helped me. They helped me last week and last Thursday, and they helped me tonight. So a shout out to those guys.
So does that mean now that you're going to show up here next week and you got to push Chuck to the win so that he can, get himself a little further up and try to knock Denny Carroll out of this championship?
Well, he's going to have to probably lead most laps, and Denny's going to have some troubles. But I don't know what the points are as they stand right now. But Chuck made up some, but I don't know if he's going to make up 30 plus points on him.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the win, man. That was awesome, and we're looking forward to racing with you Thursday and next Saturday. I'll be out there. If you show up here, I'll be out there racing with you.
All right, Brother Rod. Thank you so much. And Blaine, awesome job. I just can't believe how great those graphics are. That's just outstanding.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
You as well, bud.
Thanks, Mark. Congratulations.
Good night. Thanks.
There you go. 2 more to go.
Yeah, man.
I am excited to see, just how close that points are going to be. Coming into next week, we got 2 more weeks. So, I mean, anything's possible in the next 2 weeks, but just to see how much tighter it is. And, Denny Carroll's going to have to sweat it out a little bit. He's going to have to get out there and get her done. We know he can win, so he's got to start getting out there out front and get some of those wins.
And we've talked about it throughout the race. Like, so you got Carroll finishing in 9th and McClure in 2nd. So being in 2nd, he gets a little bit of a bonus for finishing in 2nd. However, neither of them led a lap. And with that gap now, that 37-point gap, they're going to be right on top of each other on the standings.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, the 4th and 5th place drivers that were not that far behind, but a little bit, they were tied going into for 3rd going in. Both Mangialardi, I think it was, and I forget the other one now off the top of my head. But they did not have good nights. So this takes McClure and Denny Carroll and just moves them kind of further out. Not that they can't catch them, but moves them further out, a little bit further out of reach. But they still have a good little points battle going.
Wasn't it crazy that Mark Paglia said that McClure, Schilling, and Nofsker are his teammates? So that's the top 4 tonight, all teammates. So you can see, like, these guys know how to get around this track, and the fact that they got a 1, 2, 3, 4 finish, that's the team to beat now. That's crazy.
And the other driver there was Greg Lovell. We saw him have the wheel issue that was as weird as it could possibly be, but going down into turn 1, that thing just disconnected, and he hard into the outside wall, really destroyed that car. So
yeah, and he ended up, where is he? 23rd, still on the lead lap, but down in 23rd. I mean, Greg's another one that can win, man. But another one, unfortunately, this season anyway, just not having the best of luck. But anybody in this thing can win. I'm looking at all these names. You don't even know where to start. All these guys can win. And, so join us.
We've seen Lovell do some crazy saves.
Yeah.
And to that tribal, I remember a truck race, he got bumped by Denny Carroll. Yep. Not an intentional deal. It was just trying to help his buddy up there to the front. And, Greg just turned that thing, turned left, right, boom, back on the throttle. Didn't lose, maybe lost about 5 or 6 position, a little bit of momentum. Down the backstretch, he had it all caught back up, and he was right back up to him. So we know he's got the ability to get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, these are the guys you want to run with. You want to learn how to drive around Talladega, come race with these guys. Mm-hmm. But, unfortunately, next week, this is getting intense, won't be broadcast. Like I said, the wife and I are headed to Ottawa next Saturday night. But the week after that is race 10, the final race. And because they do old school points track, it comes right down to the final lap. No knockout playoffs, none of that nonsense. We just tally up the points. And it's there will not be a champion. There will not be a champion locked in until that final race is done. So this is going to be really good.
See, I just looked at the points. I'm 44th in points because I've ran, I think, 2 races over here, and I tied with Keith Bynum, so I just got to go out and whoop up on him, and I can maybe move up a little bit.
Yeah, Keith Bynum. I'm sorry. I apologize to Keith in the chat for thinking that he was Bob Sire. But yeah, ATV Club. I should have known that anyway. But yeah, Keith and the YouTube chat, I got the name wrong. He's pretty quick to straighten me out, though. But yeah, as always, tomorrow we're back with SMO, 9 o'clock Eastern. We'll be over there if anybody wants to race in the Hawk Tribute. They're running Michigan tomorrow, so get over to SMO Gaming and we'll do some racing. And of course, next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we got Maverick. When we're back with ASR on Wednesday for their Open Setup Cup Series, which will be a lot of fun. Open Setup pit stops can be on a fixed setup race like you watched tonight. When they come to the pits, how much gas do you want? How many tires do you want? That's it. In an open setup, what do you got? Tires,
tire pressure,
fuel, tire pressures, grill tape, track bar wedge.
Yep.
What else?
And grill tape.
I think I said that.
Okay, no, that's all you can do on a pit stop.
We're good then. Yeah.
But during practice, you go out there and
garage tweaks too, right?
Go into the corner, and I'm good on entry, but I get to the middle and it pushes up. All right, so what do we do? Well, we just add a little more rebound to the compression to the left front and take away a little bit from the right front, and boom, it just tightens them right up.
Yeah, see, and that's cool. That'll be a fun broadcast because you know a lot of that stuff. I've usually got to follow a guide to figure out the garage, but endless options in the garage in an open setup race, and then you've got about 7 or 8 major tweaks you can do in the pit stall itself on a pit stop. So as the race moves on, we'll see guys tweaking their setups and seeing if they can get to where they got to be, which is the winner's circle. Of course, All-Star Racing League, these guys right now, the Saturday series, Talladega all the time. Wednesday series, not so much. They follow NASCAR, so Michigan it is. Yeah. And the next week after that, I don't know where they're going. Probably Sonoma. I don't even know. But,
I find out when I get there.
That's what happens. Yeah, just show up and race.
Well, I show up. I don't have my setups because I lost them all. I show up, throw a setup in. All right, yep. And I start just throwing springs and, mostly you start off with the springs and stuff till I get to a comfortable point, and then from there it's just shock adjustments and air pressure.
Nice. Yeah. Well, when you know your way around the garage, this is the game to be playing. So.
Yep.
NASCAR Racing 2003 season. We know it. We love it. And we thank you very much for watching. Of course, Bryant Motorsport Auto Sales, the Parts Barn. Thank you guys for the sponsorship this season number 2. Fluid Studios, which is Brian Wolf. Of course, Ken Roberts and all the other administrators over here that keep this thing together. Everybody in YouTube land watching live or on the replay, thank you very much for subscribing and liking and watching and commenting and doing all the things you guys do. The drivers, because we can't call an amazing race if it's not an amazing race, and this is always an amazing race, and it's only an amazing race because the drivers are amazing.
Yeah, they put on a great show.
Yeah, and of course, thank you, Mr. Weston.
Yes, sir. Love it.
All right, then. Well, we'll see you tomorrow at SMO. And as always, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice.